versus Bradburn. Step forward, please.
Bar owner Robert Fleming is suing his former bartender, 24-year-old Brandy Bradburn, for not repaying a loan. Brandy is countersuing for her last paycheck.
Order. All rise. Judge, this is case number 605 on the calendar in the matter of Fleming versus Bradburn.
Thank you.
Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have seats, please.
Mr. Fleming, I've read your complaint. It indicates that the defendant was an employee of yours in your bar.
That's correct, Your Honor.
And she was there for how long?
About 10 months.
What kind of work did she do?
She was a bartender.
According to you, you made a loan to her of some money.
That's correct.
And she didn't repay that loan.
Not yet, no.
What was the money for?
Well, it was to pay off a speeding fine which had gone to a warrant. It was for minor repairs to her car, which she couldn't get insurance on. It needed smogging, and she wanted to pay the licensing for it too.
And how did the loan come about?
Well, one evening she was closing up after the day's trading, and I noticed she was crying. She was pretty upset, and I assumed that one of the customers or something had happened to upset her. When I inquired as to what was wrong, she was a bit reluctant to tell me at the start, but finally I said, look, leave the money alone, because if you're not counting it properly, she couldn't concentrate, and sit down and tell me what the problem is. Finally she did, and she said that this speeding fine had gone to a warrant. She was concerned, very worried, that she was going to be arrested, etc., etc. She had an estimate for the repairs and approximate for everything, and it came to about $650. So I said, look, I'll lend you the money. Don't worry about it anymore. Concentrate on your job. You're no good to me if you can't, if you can't concentrate. And we'll get this matter sorted out. You can pay me monthly. She said, Bob, if you'll lend me the money, I'll pay you weekly. I said, fine, not a problem. I paid the speeding fine the very next day, and then later, it was 2 days later or something, I gave her the money for the repairs, for the smog, for the insurance, and the licensing of the vehicle.
Did you personally pay the speeding ticket?
Yes, I did.
And how did you go about doing that?
On a credit card over the telephone.
Had she given you the ticket?
No, she gave me the details, and I called the Riverside Police Station. They had it on file, of course.
When you say she gave you the information, how did she give you the information which enabled you to call the Riverside Police?
She gave me her name, date of birth, license number of the vehicle, the date that the booking occurred.
Okay. You clearly acknowledge that he paid this ticket.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's start with the ticket. Tell me your version of the events about the ticket.
I did get the slip. I got it in the mail, and I took it to work with me that day, so it wasn't at night when I was counting my money out. And I was upset about it, but I wasn't hysterical. And I did talk to Bob about it. We were friends at one point, and I did talk to him about it. And he did tell me not to worry about it, and I had left the slip there that I'd gotten in the mail. The next day when I came in, Bob handed it to me, and he said, I've paid this for you. I told him that I would have to pay him back, and he told me not to worry about it. And then we went through this forever, about me asking to pay it back, and he telling me not to worry about it.
Let's get to the other money that you borrowed from him. What'd you borrow that for?
Ma'am, I did not. Bob had given me a check one time for $1,500 that I ripped and promptly gave back to him.
Smogging your car, insurance on your car, license plates for your car. He didn't pay for any of that for you?
No, he didn't.
You have any proof, sir, that you gave her money other than paying this ticket?
Yeah, Mr. McCarthy was there when I gave it to her. It was in the morning.
Is this your partner?
Yes.
Step up, sir. Mr. McCarthy?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you present when he gave her the other $400?
Yes, ma'am.
Did he give it to her in check or cash?
Cash.
You saw her accept it in her hand.
That's correct.
Bob never, ever, ever, at any given point, ever gave me cash in my hand, ever. And about the loan that he says it's a loan, Bob pulled me aside numerous times. I mean, we have this whole sexual harassment thing going on. I mean,
you're going to tell me about your counterclaim in a minute. Right now, I'm talking about his lawsuit, which I find a couple of things suspect about your answer. Let me read you a few things from your answer.
Okay.
First of all, you just told me that this was a gift. He said to you, don't worry about paying me back, don't worry about anything else. Right. But in your answer, which is your sworn statement, you say, Bob told me that if I did his books at work, he would pay me $50 a week in cash and deduct $50 a week from the ticket he paid for me.
Right, Your Honor, but in my defense, I was after him all the time. My mother even offered to pay that money to him. I offered to pay it. Finally, he said, if it really means that much to you, you can help me out doing my books, and I'll take $50 off and pay you $50.
Good. So then there was an agreement that you would do his books and he would deduct $50 a week.
Right.
How long did you do his books?
Approximately a month and a half.
Did you do your books?
Yeah, she was helping with the paperwork. Yeah.
About how long?
Like she said, about a month and a half.
Okay, so that's 6 weeks. And did you pay her?
6 weeks.
Did you pay her for doing that, or did you actually deduct the $50 a week?
No, not to my recollection, I didn't.
So 6 weeks, $50 is
$300.
okay. So that we're clear. I believe that he gave you this other money, and including the parking ticket, you owe him $650. I'm deducting the $300 that you should have got for doing the books, because you should get credit for that. That was your agreement. That leaves $350 left. Now let's get to your counterclaim. Ms. Bradburn, say in your counterclaim that he refused to give you your last paycheck.
Correct.
Tell me about it.
Okay, the night that I left work, I'd left really upset and I'd quit and I'd walked out. 2 days later, I'd called him and asked him if I could pick up my check. He was at the bar. He told me, yeah, fine, whatever. It was a real short conversation. So I went down there that evening with Rich, who was my boyfriend at the time. I went down there that evening to pick up my check. The bartender that was working told me that my check was not there. I asked her if she would get Bob on the phone. She got Bob on the phone. I talked to him. By the time I got off the phone with him, I was in tears. He called me all sorts of things, told me I wasn't getting the money.
How much money did he owe you at that point?
Approximately $300 is the minimum I should have got for the time I'd worked.
How many days' pay was that?
A week and a half.
When she left, was there money outstanding?
She had a paycheck to pick up. Yes, there was.
How much?
I think it was from memory. I think it was $160. That's all.
Did she pick it up?
No, she didn't. I haven't seen her since the time she left. This is the first time I've laid eyes on her. And I haven't spoken to her in the meantime. I tried on several occasions to contact her. Her telephone had been disconnected. I talked with friends of hers who said that she had moved back home with her parents into some house that they just recently rented. Nobody knew where it was. I finished up calling her grandmother on 3 occasions and left messages there.
What were you calling her for?
To find out what to do with her paycheck, where to send it to. I had no address, I had nothing.
Your Honor.
Yes.
Your Honor, that's all a crock of... If he had my grandmother's number, he obviously had my mother's number. He never once tried to call them.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
I, quite frankly, Mr. Fleming.
Bar owner Robert Fleming claims former bartender Brandy Bradburn owes him for a loan. Brandy says Robert owes her for her last paycheck.
Mr. Fleming, let me tell you something. You know, sometimes a little bit of truth on this side and a little bit of truth on this side, sir. I don't know of an employer who was acting reasonably that would make as many phone calls and contacts as you just told me you did to try to give her $160. Maybe my boss would do that if I moved. No, he would. But I don't know of any normal person who would do that ran a business establishment. Now, if you told me that you called her to find out whether you were going to get your money back, that I could understand.
I didn't call her for that purpose.
Why not?
I wrote it off, to be honest with you. I thought, well, that's the end of that.
You see, my
I'll never
problem
see
is,
my
let me
money.
tell you what doesn't make sense, Mr. Fleming. What doesn't make sense is you're prepared to write off the money that she owes you,
Right?
but you're not prepared to write off money that you owe her.
Well, that was her...
Doesn't make sense to me.
It was her wages.
Does that make sense to you?
Not at all.
One is, you say it's her wages.
She
On the-
earned it.
shh, Mr. Fleming. Look at your partner over there. He's got it. You see, if somebody owed me money and walked out and quit in a huff over whatever reason, right, I would say I'm going to get stiffed from the money she borrowed from me. What you're saying is you owed her at most $160. So if I were a person, I would use my math and I would say to myself, I'm still in the hole $70, right? But at least I'm going to write off her pay for what she owes me. Because I, quite frankly, Mr. Fleming, don't think that somebody is in business like you are as Santa Claus.
Your Honor, can I say something?
Sure, step up. Who are you?
I'm Brandy's mother.
Go ahead.
I know for a fact that she did not borrow $400 from this man. We knew that there was a ticket She'd gotten the notice, she'd taken it to work, she'd left it there. She came back the next day, it was paid. I went up to this
Just
gentleman.
a second. You don't know any of that. You don't know any of that. That's what your daughter told you.
That's what I told her.
Shh. That's what your daughter told you. What are you looking at me like that for? What am I saying to you that you don't understand? What I'm saying to you is you don't know that. You know what your daughter told me. She's already told me the story. The fact that she repeated the story to you doesn't make it true.
Your Honor.
Why are you looking so confused? Are you confused about what I said?
Well, it's very simple. I know for a fact that she didn't take the money.
How do you
I know my
that?
daughter.
Just because you know your daughter. Sit
Period.
down.
I
Sit
know my
down.
daughter.
Sit down. No, all right. $650 less $300, which you should have gotten for taking care of his books, leaves $350. Now, since neither one of you can tell me exactly how much your last paycheck was, because you don't have a clue, you have.
I can give you the last 3 paychecks prior to it, Your Honor.
Fine, what were they?
Strike an average, and I've also.
Good.
One was for 160. One was for 110.
Mm-hmm.
One was for 177.50.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one was 205. And part of that.
And that's a week, is that right?
Right.
That's right.
That's a week.
That's
so
$5
all of a
an
sudden,
hour.
so just a second. So all of a sudden, you made twice as much?
No. I didn't
just
say
told-
that. I didn't say that. I was just adding in the fact that he said he was going to pay me on top of that. So I just added the $50 for that week.
I'm just looking at your last 4
Okay.
paychecks, madam.
Understood.
They didn't get to $300. Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $200. I'm averaging the last paycheck at $150. Thank you very much. That's all.
As I excuse, you may step out.
I think he's a big liar. He always has been, and a cheat and a thief.
Don't lend money out to people. They only end up screwing you.
He's asking me to marry him and have his children and dump my boyfriend and change my life and touching me and grabbing me and keeping me and irritating me, so I left.
There's never been any harassment.
And now the next case.
All parties on Redding versus Ullman. Step forward, please.
36-year-old Carlene Redding claims her ex-husband, 41-year-old Thayer Ullman, owes her for a credit card bill. Thayer says that bill was covered in the divorce.
How long are you folks divorced?
It's been approximately 2 years.
Is that correct?
2.5.
Did you have an attorney?
Yes.
Did you have an attorney?
Yes, I did.
This lawsuit, Ms. Redding says that your former husband caused you to have a credit card bill that you think he should pay for.
Yes.
He says that that was all resolved in the divorce, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Let me see the judgment of divorce while I'm asking you some questions. See it, please.
It's on page 3 of the property. So
Now, Ms. Redding, what credit card is this?
Citibank Visa.
When were you separated?
Probably 6 months before that.
6 months before the divorce? Is that right?
Yes.
September of '96 is the date of your divorce. On page 2, which is an important part, you directed me to page 3, but on page 2 it says the petitioner and respondent shall each indemnify the other. That means that you'll cover the other for court costs. And it further says that any other debts or obligations incurred in his name, is your name, since the separation are yours, right?
that's right.
That's what it says. So 6 months prior to your divorce would be March of '96. So show me these bills that you have from Citibank Visa that you claim he is responsible for.
This card was run up way before she even left anyway, because it was already maxed out.
I just want to see, sir, if there are any charges there after March of 1996. If there weren't any charges on that card that were yours after 1996, then Miss Redding is responsible because she agreed to pay the Citibank card in the divorce.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Judge Judy. Carlene Redding is suing her ex-husband, Thayer Ullman, for a credit card bill.
So, Miss Redding, what I want to see are those charges that were made after March of 1996. This Citibank Visa card you agreed to pay for in the judgment of divorce. You were represented by an attorney.
Yes.
Fine. So this card had a substantial balance on it.
I did not run it up.
Listen to me. Matt, let me take care of this business my way first. What is Klepper's Corner?
That's a gas station, Your Honor.
Do you use that?
I put probably 4 or 5 charges in the gas. We both did.
I'm talking about after March of '96.
I didn't think there was any charges after.
March of
she had
'96,
left.
I have a Klepper's Corner, $19. Another Klepper's Corner, and that's gas. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
For $23. And another, what's Phillips?
It's a gas station, too.
It's a gas station. Well, who fills up there?
No.
Not me. I pay cash.
Do you still live in the same area?
No, I live in Salina, Kansas.
And where do you live?
I live in Fallon, Kansas, which is a small town outside Salina.
But you live in Salina.
Yes.
When did you move there?
Shortly after our divorce.
After your divorce or after your separation?
Separation.
Well, then these are all your bills.
That's right.
Because this is all from Salina, Kansas. All of these gas cards are from Salina, Kansas. And they're not very much to begin with. Let me tell you what they are. You're talking about $100. Period. The rest of the bills are yours, madam. I mean, so what did you bring him here for? Come on, talk to me.
I can't afford to pay this.
Well, but that's not his fault. And the judgment of divorce clearly says that any bills that were incurred after the parties separated are their own individual bills. Now, you understood this, right?
To a certain extent, yeah.
Yeah, but you can't come back 2 years later and say, I just can't afford to pay it, and they want to do a do-over.
Your Honor, can I
What?
say- When we separated, she had the choice of what bill she was going to pay. For 2 years, she has done nothing but harassed me, harassed my family. My daughter has gone to a counselor for over 6 months because of this woman. I don't belong here.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
Miss Redding,
Yes, ma'am.
this marriage is over.
Yes. I
You
know
have
that.
no children together?
No.
Good. You had a divorce. You had counsel. It's finished. And I'm just going to say to you that everybody has one life to live, unless you think you're going to come back as an Eskimo pie, right? You have one life to live. And if you're going to spend your life on a lot of negative energy, you're the one who's ultimately going to suffer. You put a period to the end of this relationship, you got a divorce, move on with it. These are your responsibilities. You have to take care of them. You got to leave him alone, because if you don't have children together, there is absolutely no reason for you to have any contact with this man or his family. And if you do, one of these days, he's going to file a lawsuit with you civilly for harassment, or he's going to have you arrested criminally for harassment. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
That's going to be very unpleasant. This case is dismissed.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
Your Honor, this is case number 22 on the calendar in the matter of Schroeder versus Weeks. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Sir, have a seat, please.
Mr. Schroeder, the defendant is your daughter. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am. I'm having a little bit trouble hearing you.
Okay, I will speak louder. Your wife passed away recently,
Yes.
and it is your claim that your daughter took certain jewelry of your wife's that you would like back.
Yes, ma'am.
That's what this claim is about.
Yes, ma'am.
Your daughter says that it was your wife's wish that she have this jewelry.
Yes, ma'am.
Miss Weeks, was this the only property that your mother left?
She left some other family heirlooms and personal property, but nothing of significant value.
I assume that that's a box. Is that a box?
This is the watch that he claims, and the ring was my mother's.
I'd like to see both, please. Were your parents, Miss Weeks, estranged at the time of her death?
Yes, ma'am.
Why?
Well, in September of 1999, my mother was placed in an adult family home.
What was her illness?
Her diagnosis was multiple sclerosis at that time, and she was falling a lot. She was being left alone a lot, and Adult Protective Services were involved because of the fire department having to, she had one of those life call buttons. And the fire department was called to the house quite frequently to pick her up. And they felt that she was in a neglectful situation because she was not being properly cared for. And so Adult Protective Services started searching for alternative living arrangements for her.
And according to the complaint that I've read and your answer, there came a time around 1999 where you were given by your mother power of attorney.
That is correct.
Subsequently, in 2000, you were appointed her guardian.
That is correct.
Was her diagnosis ever modified from multiple sclerosis to something else?
Not officially, no.
All right. Now, what I found interesting about your answer was that in 2000 you were in fact appointed her guardian.
Yes, ma'am.
Because the court found that she was unable to take care of herself and make decisions for herself.
That is correct.
When was it that your mother told you that she wanted you to have this jewelry?
October, November of '99.
Did you take the jewelry at that time?
I did. And later, early part of 2000, she asked for me to give her back her ring because she wanted to wear it.
And she wore it until she died?
Yes, ma'am.
I do not want to get involved in, because I don't think it's necessary to estrange the two of you any further. Do you have siblings?
Yes.
How many?
I have 3 brothers and a sister.
Are you in touch with your other children, sir? Do you have any contact with your other children?
Pardon me?
Do you have any contact with your other children?
I don't.
So you have no contact with any of your children?
They have, even my youngest boy got up and left at the funeral when my wife, her services were. And my daughter, to my immediate left, didn't even take the time to go to her mother's funeral.
Ms. Weeks, very briefly, can you tell me why all of the children, from your perspective, don't have contact with their father? Your parents were married for, according to this, 47 years.
Yes. My father, from the time we were small children, was very abusive towards the 5 of us children, as well as my mother. And I have the guardian ad litem report that has statements to that effect, if you would like to see that. And he was never supportive of any of our decisions or anything that we felt we wanted to do, and was very mean, has said very mean and hateful things towards my middle brother, to the point where
so it's a whole history.
Yeah, it's a very, very long and sordid history.
But, Ms. Weeks, doesn't it strike you that in early 2000, your mother wanted her wedding rings back? Why do you think she wanted her wedding rings back?
She'd been married and wearing them for 40 years, and she missed wearing them. And
that's usually a symbolic thing. That
it was a symbolic thing, yes.
She missed wearing them.
Yes.
I understand that you had gotten a protective order so that he didn't go to the nursing home after a certain point. At what point did he stop going to the nursing home?
In February of 2000 is when the order of protection was put into place due to his behavior when he did visit her and phone calls that he made when he called her there.
I am going to try to resolve this issue, as I think, as wisely as I can. Your mother gave you this watch in 1999.
No, the watch, Bob gave her that watch late last year. If he wants that watch back, he can have that watch back. That watch has no significant sentimental value to me whatsoever. What has value to me are my mother's things. He abandoned their home, and if I hadn't retrieved the few family heirlooms that I had retrieved from the home, they would have been in the city dump.
I'm talking about these two things, Mrs. Weeks.
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry.
I can understand probably each of the children wanting to have a memento, something
yes, ma'am,
to look at and to touch of their mothers. I can also understand from your father's perspective. Are you living alone now, sir?
I'm living, I have my own room. I'm taking care of a lady that will soon be 91 years old.
But this is somebody that you care for, this is a job?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me why you want these wedding rings back, Mr. Schroeder.
I bought those rings for my wife.
47 years ago, I gave my wife the first ring at her home at East Indiana when I was invited to supper by her mother, who has passed away. I feel I'm entitled to these rings. I paid for them. Since my daughter has made such terrible accusations about me, which are all unprovable, and I feel that I should have the rings and the watch back, plus other things that she took out of the home.
We're not talking about other things,
All right.
Mr. Schroeder. We're talking about the
ring
watch
and the watch. Yes, ma'am.
and the rings.
And
Now, let me ask you this question, Mr. Schroeder.
yes, ma'am.
If you had to make a choice between the watch and the rings as a memento, which would you want?
I want them both, Your Honor. I paid for them.
That's not the answer, sir.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Robert Schroeder says his daughter, Julie Weeks, won't return his late wife's possessions. Julie says it was her mother's wish that she have the items.
Are they of equal importance to you?
Yes, ma'am.
You feel the same way. One was a gift to your wife.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you telling me, Mr. Schroeder, that each of these items are as important to you as the other?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, I'm going to ask you the same question, Miss Weeks. If I were to ask you which of these items, memento from your mother, is more important to you, which would it be?
It would be her ring. I wear it every day.
Give her, Miss Weeks, the ring. Give Mr. Schroeder the watch. Mr. Schroeder, that was the wrong answer, sir. The fact that you paid for them and they were yours is not the answer.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to tell you why, Mr. Schroeder. Children don't replace emotionally the loss of a parent, in this case, their mother. Sometimes mates replace emotionally their mate. They may never forget, but they replace emotionally. If you said to me, I want the rings back because we were married with those rings, she wore those rings for 47 years, they're part of our history, I want them, I would have given you the rings. And you have to understand that, Miss Weeks.
Yes, ma'am.
But to you, it didn't make any difference. You said to me, I paid for both. They're equally as important to me, so I want them both. Well, I knew that they weren't equally as important to your daughter, right?
That's right.
You have the watch, you have the rings, you probably never make up, I assume, is that right?
That is correct, ma'am.
I assume so. That's very sad, but
It is sad.
you're a grown-up adult, and he probably is a lonely old man who doesn't have, at this point in his life, the support of his children or his grandchildren. I assume you don't see your grandchildren either.
No, I have a call regularly from Mary Ann in Florida.
Well, Mr. Schroeder, you should do a little
Mary
bit.
Ann is Julie's oldest daughter.
How old are you, sir? How old are you?
70 years old.
Well, that's not so old, Mr. Schroeder. There's still time for you to try to do something to get back into the good graces of your family. But you also have to look at yourself and say, what is it that I did over the last 45 years to my family that makes them all cut me off? Your children don't talk to you, Mr. Schroeder. There has to be a reason. And unless you want to live the rest of your life by yourself, I would suggest you do a little soul searching and figure out what that was. Thank you very much. The case is over.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I've tried to be kind to Bob. I've tried to show him care, and every time I open up and try to be kind to the man, he is hateful towards me.
I hope that someday that I can get to a point where I can see my grandchildren.
He has made the decision about his family.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Schwab versus Fadin. Step forward, please.
Office manager Bonnie Schwab is suing travel agent Giancarlo Fadin for the cost of 2 tickets to Greece. Bonnie says she won the tickets in a raffle, and Giancarlo reneged on the prize.
Ms. Schwab, you were the lucky winner of 2 tickets to Greece
Yes, I was.
about 2 years ago.
May of 2000.
And where did you win these tickets?
At the Valley Greek Festival that they have every year in May.
Was it a raffle ticket?
It was a raffle ticket. A girl I work with, her children go to school there, and I bought tickets.
And due to circumstances, according to your complaint, you were unable to use the tickets for a while. The defendant had donated the tickets. You have a travel agency, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now you want to use the airline tickets. The defendant says you waited too long. That's your defense. Is that pretty much it?
Pretty much it.
Bonnie Schwab says after entering a raffle at a Greek festival, she won 2 tickets to Greece. Bonnie claims travel agent Giancarlo Fadin is trying to renege on the prize.
Do you have a copy of the stub, your contest stub, or any other literature from the contest?
I have a letter from the church stating that I won first prize in the raffle.
Okay. All right, and that was in May of 2000.
Right.
Did you schedule the trip?
We scheduled a trip. Mr. Fadin gave us an itinerary when we went to see him in
Who's we?
My boyfriend at the time. We went to see him, and he wrote us an itinerary. We discussed with him that we would like to go to Italy. Mr. Fadin said we could go to Italy instead of Greece, so he prepared an itinerary. At
And
that
this
time,
was done in January?
of 2001.
And when were you planning to take the trip?
May of 2001. Subsequently, due to circumstances beyond my control, I was not able to go with my boyfriend. So I called Christine, Mr. Fadin's wife, and asked them if I could put the trip off until October of that year. And they agreed to, of 2001, and they agreed that they would do that.
So far, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then what happened?
Well, then the summer passed, and then September 11th happened. I was afraid to travel, especially to Europe. Being an American, I didn't know what would happen. The airlines and the airports were crazy. So I wrote them a letter and faxed it to them in October, and I received no response. I asked them to call me.
Do you have a copy of that letter?
Yes, I do.
Okay, do you acknowledge receiving a letter from her?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Your Honor, we have a standard letter that we send to the organization. We donate to the Italian community, in this case the Greek community, because we specialize travel to Europe, especially Italy
Yes.
and Greece. And the letter pretty much states to
Well, let me take a look at the letter that you say that you send to everybody, but
Correct.
you didn't send it to the plaintiff.
Well, we
No.
wouldn't have, because we would have sent it to church.
No, but you,
I never saw that
just a
letter.
second. You say here that the tickets are valid for 1 year from the date of the prize drawing, and this is dated March 15th of 2000. I have no idea when this was typed, Mr. Fadin, but certainly you cannot impugn the information here to the plaintiff unless it was written on the stub that, you know, grand prize, 2 tickets to Greece, trip must be taken within 1 year.
We donate the tickets to the church with the intent of creating goodwill in the community. The church is then raffling and selling the tickets and collecting the money from, in this case, Ms. Schwab, and we have no responsibility on that.
You do. You have responsibility for the 2 tickets, sir. First of all,
Well,
you
we
agreed
have
to put...
donated the 2 tickets to church.
No, you have donated the 2 tickets, not to St. Nicholas Church, Mr. Fade. You have donated the tickets to be used as part of a raffle. I don't see what your problem is, Mr. Faden. It would seem to be now, if you wanted to purchase 2 tickets to Greece, it would be a lot cheaper than it was 2 years ago.
Well, let me explain. After September 11, my company lost $200,000. When the lady called to postpone her trip, I wasn't even sure that I would be in business the following spring.
But you are in business.
Well, thank you. I worked very hard for it.
Good, but you are in business, so you have to give her tickets.
I would like to call my witness at a certain point, Your Honor.
To say what?
Because she really dealt with pristine strategy most of the time.
More than happy to hear from the witness if she has something else to say.
No, I can stand. Your Honor, I don't know exactly what to say. I think I do understand that there was perhaps a miscommunication between the agency and the church and perhaps Ms. Schwab. However, when September 11th came, again, as Giancarlo has said, we really didn't know where we stood, and perhaps it's difficult for somebody who doesn't work in the travel industry to understand. There were literally envelopes, I mean loads of tickets coming back. Every phone call was a cancellation. It came so late. It came 2 years later, and I understand
well, it didn't come
that
2 years later. It came a year and a half later.
A year and a half
and
later.
you had already agreed to allow her to take the trip in October.
I understand that.
So
but
if
again,
you allowed her to take the trip in October, despite the fact that you really didn't have any choice, but you said, okay, you want to travel in October, and then the events of September 11th, which you acknowledge devastated your business.
Totally.
You had no time to respond to this letter that she sent.
No,
because
not
you were
really.
trying to
I
keep
was
your
too
heads
busy
above water. So
Correct.
you acknowledge that it was a tumultuous time.
Absolutely.
In your world, it was this important. This whole trip was this important as it related to the rest of the world. But bottom line is, you donated these tickets. She wants the tickets. She feels comfortable enough now that the world has calmed down enough so she's prepared to travel. And you have to furnish her the 2 coach class tickets that she won, that you donated. Just do it. That's your goodwill. Goodbye.
Parties are
you.
excused. You may step out. 3:18 on the calendar in the matter of Purdue versus Higgins. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have seats, please.
Mr. Purdue.
Good morning.
Good morning. According to your complaint, sir, you gave the defendant rings pursuant to a relationship that the 2 of you were in.
Yes.
And she was living with you for a brief period of time. And you claimed that there was a promise that if the relationship did not turn out, she would give you the rings back. You claimed that the relationship did not work out, she left, and you don't have the rings.
Yes, ma'am.
The second part of your lawsuit is a claim for a small loan. I think it was $40-some-odd,
yes,
in order to permit her to get a restraining order against a boyfriend of hers who was supposed to be an abusive boyfriend,
yes, ma'am,
who she subsequently went back to.
Yes, ma'am.
And you want that money back.
Yes.
And Ms. Higgins says that she did not have a relationship with you, that she was really nothing more than a housekeeper for you, a housekeeper/companion, that the rings were a gift. However, when you said you wanted them back, she went over to your house and threw them in your yard. Is that
Yes,
right?
Your Honor.
How long have you known her, Mr. Purdue?
Approximately 9 months.
Where did you meet her?
Met her in a bar. She was my buddy's girlfriend at the time I met her. And before the night was over, she was sucking my fingers and everything, wanting to...
Your Honor, that's a lie. Listen to me. I don't want you to get into anything that I don't have to hear in order to make this lawsuit. Do you understand? There are certain things that I don't have to hear graphically. She was making advances towards you. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Within a week, she had broke up with this guy, and she called me and wanted me to move her out of there and move her into my house.
How did she get your home telephone number?
I was more than anxious. I mean, I was a willing party at the time.
Okay,
You
go
know,
ahead.
I was impressed with her, and she was a hot number in my book. But within a week, she'd moved into my house. I tried to, lead a normal life and everything, but she just didn't have it in her. 3 days or so, and she'd be gone all night. Then she'd come back in the morning, smelling like a billy goat, and I'd kick her out, and then the telephone calls would come back again, and we're back in another relationship again. This girl needs help. She doesn't have a job.
No, she doesn't need help. You need help.
Yeah, okay, I agree.
Okay.
I agree.
Tell me about the rings, sir.
Okay, I had bought the rings in 1987 for my
what?
wife, and she's deceased of 3 years. And because Liz always identified so much, she told me, she says, I feel so close to your wife and everything. I know. Yes, I give her my rings. And I told her at the time I gave them to her, because we had such a rocky relationship, we've been together and kicked her out several times. I've had the police drag her out from the door. Anyway, when I gave them to her, I says, because these rings mean so much to me, if this doesn't work out, I have to have the rings back. She agreed. We were engaged 3 days.
You mean when you gave her the rings, you thought that they were given as an engagement?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, did you ask her to marry you?
Yes, ma'am.
What did you say to her?
I said, Liz, will you marry me? She says, yes. To me, that was a contract. 3 days later, she stayed out all night. I presume now it was with Ken.
This is the boyfriend.
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead.
This was the one that the $42 is about. But where was I now?
you were giving her the rings that were so sentimentally valid for you because you had bought them for your deceased wife in 1987, and you gave them to somebody who came home every third night smelling like a billy goat.
Yes, ma'am. Okay.
That's where you were.
She just 3 days we were engaged. She goes out that night, spends out all night long. I don't know where she was or anything. I broke off the engagement. I'm driving her back to her mother's house, and she says, Bill, please let me have the rings for a couple of days. I says, why do you want the rings? She says, I want to save face in front of my family, my wife, my mother, and my kids. I says, okay, but I've got to have them back. You know, when I went to get them back, she absolutely refused.
Okay. And then she's going to tell me that when you said, give me the rings, I want the rings, I want the rings, she came over to your house and you threw them in the yard. Is that right?
What happened was he had started driving by my house and calling all the time. And one day he came over and all I had on was a T-shirt. He came in and he tried to hug me and he grabbed my breasts. At the time,
Would you get to the rings, please?
Okay, I was with Ken. Okay.
Good for you. Would you
Ken
get to the rings, please?
This is what he said. He said, I want you to prove that you're done with Bill Perdue officially, okay? So we got in his van, he drove, we drove by, and I threw the rings in his yard and called to let him know that they were there.
You're an idiot. All right. Strike you. Strike you. Now, let me go through this with you, Mr. Perdue. She told you at some point in between her going out in the evening that she had to get a restraining order against him. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And what did you say to her?
I went with her down to the town court. We did file a temporary restraining order. I gave her the money. She filed it. A month later, you go back and make it permanent in front of a judge. But the night before, we'd gone out for a couple of drinks, and she started a fight for no reason. I've got no idea why she's so mad, but she's starting to fight. So I says, you know, you got to fight. I said, I don't care. But she said, okay, I'm going to court tomorrow by myself.
Your Honor, there was no argument.
Shh. I found out that she went to court. As soon as Ken walked in, they went outside for a long time. She came back in and dropped charges on that very day.
Fine, that still doesn't make this a loan, sir. Mr. Perdue. It doesn't make it a loan.
She asked me for the money.
Your Honor, he told me he was giving me the money.
Miss Higgins, don't interrupt me. That doesn't make it a loan, Mr. Perdue. She asked you for the money. You gave her the money.
Yes, ma'am.
That's a gift. That's not a loan. So let's just deal with the rings. All right. Now, Miss Higgins, I want you to tell me your version of the rings.
Okay. He had bought these rings. Okay. They were sitting in his house. Okay. In a box. Finally, one night he comes and he says, you know, he looks right at me and he says, Liz, I know, and these are exact words, I know that you're probably never going to marry me, but I bought these for you. They're your rings. I took the rings. It's that simple.
So you were really nothing more than a housekeeper for him.
He and I...
Shh. That's what you say in your answer, that you took care of the house, you cleaned up, you cooked, and you were a companion. Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
So it was a job.
It wasn't necessarily a job. I mean, we were both benefiting from it. I was staying there and taking a break from my house, and my mom's handicapped, and I take care of her. So I was taking a break from that. And he was benefiting by eating and having his house cleaned.
So that it was a barter arrangement, but still a job. You got free room and board, and he got his house cleaned.
Right.
And his refrigerator replenished with cooked food.
That's right, Your Honor. I bought the groceries.
Shh. Then can you explain to me why he would say to an employee, you're probably never going to marry me, but I bought these rings for you?
Because
so you answered me.
That's the reason I left, Your Honor, because he started getting obsessive. And at one point in time, he started referring himself to me as Daddy.
Okay, let me ask you this question, Ms. Higgins. Do you believe that if you hadn't taken the rings and encouraged a relationship, if I believe your story, you say, no, I'm not, Mr. Perdue, I'm not taking these rings from you because you're right, I'm not going to marry you. I am your housekeeper. Do you think that he would have become obsessive?
He was already, before we had lived together prior to this, he had already become obsessive. See, he and I stayed with him for a while before. When he was telling you that he met me through a boyfriend I had at the time,
yes.
Okay? And I would invite him over at that time to cook meals for him, okay? Because I knew his wife had just died. I had heard all kinds of different things about him.
Okay.
So anyway, back then, he asked me to come and stay, okay? And he was missing home-cooked meals, and at the time, that's all he wanted, okay? And I was staying with him. Then he began wanting more, and he wanted sex and different things, and I moved out at that time, too. Now, this time he promised me it would be different.
Now, what prompted you, if he wanted all of these things, what prompted you to move back there?
Because we had been friends without me living there. We had just remained friends.
Is there any reason, Miss Higgins, why when Genius over here told you that he wanted to know that you were finished with Mr. Perdue once and for all, and according to you, you drove by the house and threw the rings in the yard, You couldn't do the civilized thing, which would have been to put the rings in a box, take it to the post office, and mail it to him?
Your Honor, at that time I was very angry because the reason this conversation between Ken and I even started in the first place. In fact, can I call him up here, Your Honor, for this?
Oh, I would love to hear from him.
I can. But anyway, the thing is that I was angry because he was driving by the house and we were getting phone calls, and my kids had told me.
Why didn't you just give him back the rings?
Because my kids had told me.
Why didn't you just give him?
I didn't want to see him.
Why didn't you just give him back the rings?
He was obsessed with me, and I didn't want to see him.
You don't have to see him. Mail him back the rings.
I was extremely angry.
What were you angry about?
Because my kids had come to me and told me that he was trying to bribe my kids.
Why didn't you just return the rings?
I was angry, and I just went and threw them in his yard, and I called him, told him there they were.
Listen.
Because his threats, he was threatening that somebody was looking around for him to beat him up and everything else. And I was so fed up with the guy.
You want to say anything to me?
Yes, Your Honor. Her and I have had a rocky relationship, but the thing is, I'm tired of the phone calls from him at 7 o'clock in the morning every day. He's come in between our relationship enough times. He was a nice guy when I met him, but he got worse and worse, and it just conflict between him and I. He would kind of come by the house in the middle of the night.
You don't think that she's partially responsible for that?
I think they're both responsible for some things.
Fine, right. The fact that you are not sleeping with him, sir, doesn't mean that he's more responsible than she is. She took advantage
Your
of
Honor,
him.
I wasn't sleeping with him.
I didn't say you sleeping with him, madam. I said the fact that he's not sleeping with him.
Oh, okay.
You see, the reason he's angry with him is because why should he be angry with you? The two of you share a bed together. He says you're equally responsible. The two of you are equally responsible. Well, the reason he's mad at him instead of you is because he sleeps with you, and he doesn't sleep with him. Now, do you understand that? That may be confusing to you. Not you,
No, I
him.
understand.
Now, you understand. All right? So, they're equally responsible, but not really. She's more responsible. You want me to tell you why? Is your name Ken?
Yes, ma'am.
Ken.
Judge.
There's no fool like an old fool. He's an old fool. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
Got a younger woman, makes him feel younger, makes him feel stronger, gets a little obsessive. She encourages him a little bit. She encourages him a lot because she's got to get away from one boyfriend, she moves in with him. She's got to get away from you because things aren't good, she moves in with him. She moves in with him, then she takes off and goes with you. She gets a restraining...
Your Honor, that's not what I moved in.
She gets a restraining order, preliminary restraining order against you. She's saying, poor me, I'm a poor victim, everybody's abusing me. And she said a lot of things about you in order to get a restraining order, sir. Is that a fair statement?
Yes, it is.
What did she say about you in the restraining order? Did she say that you were abusive?
Yes.
Did she say that you were threatening?
Yes.
Did she say that she was afraid of you?
Yes.
Was all that true?
Parts.
Parts, but parts not?
Parts not.
Were you abusive?
At times.
Really? Were you physically abusive?
There was some pushing every once in a while.
Every once in a while. He never pushed her.
That's not what I was told either.
No, just a minute. A little obsessive, maybe. But didn't do half the things to her that you did. And then she made up some stuff along the way, according to you, when she made out that report, right?
I'd assume so.
What do you mean you assume so? You got a copy of it, sir. You read it, right? That's why you showed up in the courthouse that day. And when you saw it, Ken, did you say to yourself, she's lying about some of this stuff? She's a liar?
Well, see, I didn't ask her any questions. I had no contact.
Did you say to yourself, she's a liar? I never did that.
It.
On some of the stuff you did, right? So here we have two people on one side, and you now tell me that she's a liar.
I don't say fully
a liar. If you lie, if you
like
swear to an application for a protective order under penalties of perjury, and you lie, that makes you a liar.
Yes.
Right.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And later today, Bill Perdue says ex-fiancée Elizabeth Higgins owes for the cost of 2 heirloom rings. Elizabeth says she threw the rings into his front yard.
Listen to me. I find that these rings were given as an engagement gift in contemplation of getting married. And when Miss Higgins accepted it, she may not have been serious about accepting them as an engagement ring.
Yes.
She may not have been serious, but she led you to believe she was serious. I don't believe her story that she was the housekeeper and cooked you chicken every other Tuesday and Thursday and maybe a brisket on Friday. I don't believe that.
No.
And if she wanted to return them, then she does the reasonable thing. If she, in fact, returned them at all by throwing them in your yard, she puts them in the mail and returns them. so I don't believe she returned them at all. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,850. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I'm very glad she's got a new outfit. She looks like a kind of little Catholic girl.
We were just true friends, and I truly believe that. I believed he was a good friend to me, but obviously I was wrong.
I think I'll probably start going to church now instead of hanging in the bars picking up women.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Leonard versus Norris. Step forward, please.
23-year-old bartender Amanda Leonard is suing her boyfriend's estranged wife, 22-year-old market research analyst Jennifer Norris, for harassment.
Miss Leonard, you are in the process of dating the defendant's present husband, soon to be her ex-husband, and it is your claim that the defendant has been harassing you. 30 seconds or less. Tell me how she's harassing you.
Yes, ma'am. It started a long time ago. After they broke up, she cheated on her husband and moved to Reno before we ever started dating. I have a tape, I have an audio tape of the very last message she left me after I had told her that I had already made a police report on her. She's still...
Fine, I'll hear it. Why did you say such nasty things to her, Miss Norris?
And that's...
I know I made these harassing calls, and I know it was wrong.
Why didn't you acknowledge that when you filed your answer in this case, Miss Norris?
I was very, very angry.
Why were you angry?
She was my friend, and I kept telling her, you know, I feel like Travis is cheating on me. I feel like something's going on with somebody else. And I never told her that I thought it was her because I didn't want to make her feel awkward, you know. And then it was her. And they had been together for, in my mind, I'm thinking about a year that they were messing around. And he kept telling me, no, I'm just selling drugs to her because he's, you know, they are drug addicts and stuff. And I was very angry because I thought she was my friend. And I realized that that was the wrong thing to do, was call and make those things.
When was the last time you made a harassing call to her?
I don't even remember the last time.
When was the last time?
This last message was made on the 31st, I believe, of September.
Of this year?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No. I live in Reno, Nevada. I have no reason, you know, I live 3 states away.
Doesn't make any difference. Phones reach 3 states away.
I didn't call her. I mean, that's fine if, you know, that's what they're saying.
You have to stop.
I have
Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
You have to stop.
Yes, ma'am.
It's finished.
Yes, I realize that.
Over.
I realize that.
What else?
She also threatened my family. She threatened my mother. She threatened all of my friends. She threatened to put antifreeze in my dog's food bowl. She threatened to key my car and slash my tires.
Did she do any of those things?
She didn't do any of those things.
Good, and she's not going to do any of those things, so she's not going to call you anymore. So I want you to be happy in your new life. She's not going to bother you anymore. You don't bother her anymore. They're going to get a divorce when?
January 17th. But I have a question. We are not legally separated. There's no paperwork. And I can call over there to speak to my husband.
No,
I have the
call.
right to.
Listen to me. What do you want to talk to him about? Do
A
you have children?
divorce.
Just a minute. Do you have children together?
No.
Do you have a lawyer?
Yes, I do.
Then whatever you want to say to him, you say through your lawyer.
I just want the divorce done, and they won't
Just listen
help
to
me.
Who won't help you?
They won't, like, go do anything. They won't go file the papers, nothing. And I'm like, I live in Nevada, so I have to wait. In January, it'll be 6 months I've been there, so I will have residency so I can get a divorce there.
Fine, Miss Norris, then that's what you do.
That's what I'm trying
Listen
to
to
do.
me. She would probably like you to have a divorce. I'm speaking. She would probably like you to have a divorce. He's not so anxious. He's not so anxious because she wants to get married, right?
Well, eventually, hopefully.
You say eventually, hopefully. Me? She would like to get married tomorrow.
Are you talking to me?
No, I'm not talking to you.
About me, though?
Sort of. Sort of. But I didn't require an answer because I wasn't talking to you. In any event, Miss Norris, in January, which is right around the corner, you are going to be able to get a divorce, whether they are cooperative or not. Don't call him. That's holding on to something that doesn't exist anymore. Move on!
I have definitely
Good.
moved on.
Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Yeah, this is case number 241 on the calendar in the matter of Rowland versus Bourne.
Expert.
You're quite welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in, Your Honor. You may be seated. Ladies, have seats.
How old are you, Miss Rowland?
19.
According to the complaint that I've read, you were house sitting for the defendant.
Correct.
Right after you graduated from high school, which was when?
June 16th of 2001.
That was just for a month or two?
It was until I left for college on August 18th.
According to your complaint, the defendant was out of town either on business or seeing family. She came back. She threw you out unceremoniously. and she kept some of your property. She says she has none of your property. She is counterclaiming. She says you trashed her house and caused her all kinds of other grief. So, how did you know Miss Bourne?
I had previously hung out with her daughter. You know, I'd go over to her house every once in a while.
And whose idea was it that you should house sit for her over the summer?
I believe that I had said something to her daughter, Shasta. My parents and I had an agreement that I would move out for the summer.
Why?
So that I could get used to living on my own before I went to college.
That is the biggest crock that I've heard in a long time. That's not what parents do. You move out and you go live someplace else so you get used to living on your own. Never heard of that. Go ahead. Let me hear the rest.
Diane and I had an agreement that I would stay at her house during the summer, pay the water bill, pay the rent, take care of the house, things like that. I moved in on June 17th. She had already been gone for a month. When I got to the home was absolutely thrashed. There was dirt everywhere. The kitchen, I have photos of the kitchen when I got there. My friend Sharon cleaned the kitchen. When I first got into the house, there was a barbecue in the kitchen area, like an outdoor grill. An oil drum was being used as a trash can in the middle of the kitchen. She had an area rug the size of the living room in the living room that was nailed to the hardwood floor. To clean it, I picked it up, took it up and cleaned underneath it. There was about ½ an inch of dirt, crackers, food, grime. It was absolutely filthy, and I don't live like that, so I cleaned it up. I scrubbed the house on my hands and knees, cleaned the bathroom.
Go ahead. So?
July 3rd of 2001, I had come home with a couple of my friends. We were going to watch a movie, and I saw 2 cars in the front yard. And the 2 witnesses she has over there, one of them was the lady in the black was sitting on the porch, along with another lady named Cheryl and Diane's younger daughter. I was very surprised to see them home because I didn't expect them to be home until the end of the summer. And I asked, hey, what's going on? And her daughter, 17-year-old daughter, came out and told me, well, you're indeed. And I said, well, why? And then Diane came out and started screaming obscenities at me, accusing me of vandalizing the house, stealing items that were in the house, things like that.
And she put you out?
She told me that I was to give her house key back, and I said I'm going to need to go get a police officer to come get my stuff with me because she wouldn't let me get any of my things.
Did you do that?
Yes, I did.
And did you get your stuff?
I got some of it. What I could load in my truck, I did when the police officer was there. He had told me that he had to go out on a fight call, so I needed to get what I could and leave. So all of my stuff that was left there was now in her possession.
Well, what do you claim you left there?
A computer, a snowboard, a computer desk, clothes, personal items, things I had purchased for the house, decorations.
I don't care what you did purchase for the house. A computer and a desk and a snowboard. What else?
Just clothes and personal items.
You have her computer and desk?
The computer desk ended up being donated to a thrift store. It was not a complete desk. There was like a whole side of it was missing.
What about the computer that was on the computer
She
desk?
took the computer the day she had the civil standby.
Have any proof that you left the computer in the house?
I have my witness. She saw that the computer was there when I left, and when she came back the next day, it was gone.
Step up. Tell me your name.
Sharon Smith.
Tell me what you know about this computer.
I was in the house the day that Diane came home.
What were you doing in the house?
I was staying there with Sarah because I was going to be leaving July 8th to go to Washington for college.
So you were living in the house?
Yeah.
Who else was living in the house?
Sarah.
Who else?
That's it. It was just me and Sarah.
Anybody else staying over?
No.
Go ahead.
Well, when I told Diane I wanted to take my things and leave, she wouldn't let me. She said I had to leave my things there. I said, well, can I at least take my purse with me? And she said, yeah, but you have to let me search it first. So I said, okay, I have nothing to hide from you. So I opened my purse. I let her look in it. She saw there was nothing of hers in there, and I had left. I was scared. I didn't know what was going on.
Can we get to the computer, please?
Well, I saw the computer there when I left. I went back the next day with my mom and a police officer to get my things, and her computer desk was no longer there.
What about her snowboard?
I don't know. I assume she took it with her when she came and got a whole truckload of stuff.
How long were you in the house after July 3rd, the date that she left?
I ended up going back to Utah approximately a week or week and a half later.
Now, in the week or week and a half that you were still in the house, the plaintiff and her parents come to the house or attempt to contact you?
The plaintiff did not. Her parents came over the next day, told me the computer actually belonged to them. She went into hiding. I had to get a restraining order because the officer that did the civil standby told me that she was a tenant. She'd never paid a dime. She'd rented rooms to her friends. She had turned my house from just a family home to a party house / bordello.
Now, how do you know that?
Well, photographic evidence, Your Honor. I've got condoms on the front room bookshelf that this young woman was apparently advertising. My family room became their junk room. My daughter's room became their junk room. She shut the door on my daughter's pet rats. No food, no water. They were this big around. They were pet rats. My daughter loved animals, and they were huge. We came home, and they were like this big around. And one is just hanging on, there's pictures, hanging on the side of the cage, no water. We gave it water.
Was it your arrangement for her to take care of these?
Yes, that was why
incorrect, Your Honor.
she was over there, to feed the animals. There were cats that were so scared to come back to the house. When we left, we couldn't even catch them.
There
the
was
kittens
no agreement
became
to take care of
feral.
animals, Your Honor.
None?
whatsoever.
Did you know that there were animals in the house?
Yes, she
her
did.
Her daughter came over, Shasta came over once and told me not to open her daughter's bedroom door because there was a rat loose in her daughter Sierra's room.
Did you feed the cat?
No, ma'am. There was no agreement for me to do so.
So what were you supposed to do there?
I was just going to live there and take care of the house, make sure that, you know, nobody came in, I guess, and not...
Well, somebody did come in. You invited her.
I invited her, correct.
That was not part of your agreement.
There were several different... Excuse me.
That was not your agreement.
My agreement was for me to take care of the house.
But it wasn't your agreement for you to invite anybody else to stay with you.
She had told me, be careful who you let in the house. And I trust Sharon. She was in a situation...
You are a very, very good fibber, Miss Rowland. Looks like a major mess.
I also
But I don't know what it looks like. I want to see which photograph that she has. She says she has a photograph of what the house looked like before. Let me see.
Sharon took these pictures before she cleaned the kitchen. These dishes and stuff was in the kitchen before
Sharon.
we got there. This is Sharon.
Sharon?
Yeah.
When did you clean the kitchen?
The first day I was there.
Which was when, Sharon?
That would have been...
That would have been immediately, right?
Well,
when she
Sarah,
moved in.
Sarah was there before I was. Sarah
You
was
mean
there
Sarah
a
was
couple
living
of
like a
days.
pig before you came?
She was in the process of moving her things in for a couple of days, and she asked me if I'd come over and help her clean the house. And I did, and after I cleaned the house, that's when Sarah told me that I could live with her.
Uh-huh. I don't know where your computer is. Haven't a clue. Don't know where your snowboard is. I haven't a clue. She doesn't have it. You breached your agreement with her. Your agreement with her is that you were supposed to stay there and take care of the house, take care of the animals. You did none of that. The house looks pretty trash to me, and in addition, you brought in at least one other tenant without her permission. So who knows where your computer is. You have a counterclaim. I want to see what you claim the damages because you were a tenant in this apartment. So tell me what your out-of-pocket damages were.
My first loss was the loss of my vehicle. I left California to find work. In that part of California, there's just nothing.
Come on.
So I had to leave, take time from my job to come home to deal with that.
And? How did that have
all the money that I saved to pay for my car, I ended up losing my car.
All right.
Because I had to quit my
It's a
job.
little too far removed. Come on. You're not going to get a new car. What else? Let's go.
I lost a bunch of my personal possessions.
Like what?
Family heirlooms. They broke a chair in my living room. They scratched the hardwood floor.
You're a tenant. I want to know what your out-of-pocket is.
The doors that she ripped
Well, show
the
me
locks
what you
of.
had to pay to the landlord.
I don't have that.
Well, then I can't help you. You have a cleaning bill. I mean, you showed me a lot of damage.
The
a lot of
cleaning bill
schmutz
would have
there.
been my own sweat and blood.
Your Honor,
Listen.
I have a statement from the carpet cleaner regarding the
I'm
carpet.
not reading a statement. I don't know who those professional carpet cleaners were. And quite frankly, I don't believe a lot of what you say.
Okay.
You understand that? I don't believe a lot of what you say. It's too convenient.
I also have an incident report from the police officer
That says?
stating that there was no vandalism in the house.
Oh, I'd like to see that. That I'd like to see.
I wonder if I could see that too.
No,
Your
it
Honor.
just says, listen to me, I'm going to tell you what it says. Everything appears to be code for residence is just dirty with clothes. Well, that's pretty much what I saw. Doesn't have to do with vandalism, just being a slob. Place looked like a pig pen.
Your
That's
Honor.
pretty much what she says, because she said she didn't have a professional anybody in there. All she did was, through the sweat of her own body, cleaned up after you. What else? You want to show me a police report?
No, it's just the contract on my car. My down payment on my car that I lost, $5,000.
First of all, you're supposed to use good judgment. You have an 18-year-old that you let move into your house who just graduated from high school. Not necessarily good judgment.
It's not one of my finer moments.
Well, I wouldn't do it. Would you do that? Yeah.
Well, I didn't have any reason to think that she would screw me over.
Except that she's a high school kid.
I found out later she called me and said her parents had kicked her out because she'd stayed out one night partying, and they were very strict.
That's incorrect, Your Honor.
That is
I don't know what the
grossly
reason is
incorrect.
that you weren't staying with your parents. It certainly wasn't the cock and bull story that you gave me at the beginning of this
She
case.
had stolen
that
their
they wanted
credit
to see
card,
if you
Your
could manage on your own. Listen, you're not entitled to a thing. I don't know where your computer is. I don't know where your snowboard is. I don't know where any of these things are after a year. Madam, You are entitled to nothing as a result of your bad judgment. If you had to clean up after her, that's what you did. The loss of your car is not her fault. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
She turned my home into a bordello.
She lived in filth, and I cleaned it up.
She had several overnight guests, males, multitudes of them.
Her family's white trash.
She was a tramp, and she was a troublemaker and a thief.
Don't associate with white trash.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Olenichuk Robinson versus Crandall. Step forward, please.
21-year-old homemaker Jennifer Olenichuk and her boyfriend, carpenter Michael Robertson, are suing their former friend, 22-year-old fast food worker Jennifer Crandall, for money owed and for vandalism to their property.
Ms. Olenichuk, you and the defendant were good friends, according to what I've read, for about 7 years. And there came a time, it was past summer, that, according to you at least, the defendant was thrown out of her house. She lived with her parents or her mother, along with her child. And you volunteered to take her into your house that you share with your boyfriend.
Right.
She did, in fact, move in with you. And when was that?
June 1st, 2002.
And how old is your child?
11 months old.
And the child came with you?
Yes.
And it was your agreement, according to you, that she would take care of some chores around the house, pay some minimal rent.
Right.
She'll claim it didn't work out. You told her to leave because you believed that she had stolen some money from you. You changed the locks on the door. She came home. She got angry when she found out the locks would change. She vandalized your house, vandalized your car. Ms.
Right.
Crandall says she owes you nothing. She didn't cause any damage.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Jennifer Olenichuk and her boyfriend Michael Robertson claim former roommate Jennifer Crandall owes for vandalism to their property and unpaid rent. Jennifer says the couple locked her out.
So when did you find that she had stolen money from you? What makes you think she stole money from you?
On August 8th, I was at work. I got paid $200 in cash. I came home late that night. We had a fight because I had used Jenny's car to go to work, and I came home late.
So she was angry with you?
Yes, yes, very angry. We went to bed very late. The next morning, we woke up, and Jenny was gone with Cheyenne, and I went in my purse, and I was missing a $100 bill. Usually she left a note when she left. She left no note that morning, and she didn't call right away. She didn't call for a few hours after that. Then when I did talk to her when she called, she had told me that her and her sister-in-law had been at the mall getting some toys for Cheyenne and this, that, and the other, and I had asked her, you know, well, you were kind of broke yesterday, and she had told me that she took exactly $100 off of an account that she has at the bank.
Okay, so?
After that, she didn't come home all day. I went back and forth with deciding whether or not I actually wanted to be kind of mean about it and just do things the way I did. And at like the last minute, I decided. And I packed up all her and her child's stuff and put it outside. She came home about 5 minutes later, and that's when things just escalated. I was in the house the whole time watching out the window. It appeared that she was drinking. She, of course, tried to get in the door to come upstairs, and she noticed that the locks was changed, and there was a lot of yelling going on. She then started throwing rocks at the windows because I live on the second story, and sometimes you don't hear people knocking. Then it went from that to, of course, I didn't open the window or answer at all. I was scared that if I went downstairs,
You weren't sure about it.
that if I went downstairs, there'd be a physical confrontation, which didn't need to happen after everything else. She used the neighbor's phone and called about, 6 or 7 times. Why don't you come downstairs? This is ridiculous. You're being a...
Why did you decide to go the nasty route? I mean, you said, I debated whether or not to go the nasty route back and forth, and finally I decided to go the nasty route. Why?
Well, and we've had a lot of problems with the friendship in the last 7 years, and the night before, like I said, we had gotten in a big fight.
Because you used her car, and you kept the car out longer than you were supposed to. That was the wrong thing to do.
Right.
So why did that end up with you doing the nasty thing and throwing her things out?
Because it was very, very loud and escalated the night before. We were screaming at each other and yelling, and I said, okay, I've already apologized 3 or 4 times, I'm sorry. And finally I was just like, well, why don't you just leave then? And when I said, why don't you just leave, she said, no, I'm not leaving. Well, then when the stuff happened the next morning, I was scared that, again, inside my house this time, I would have the same fight of, no, I'm not going to leave. So I just did things the way that I did, more or less to save.
Nasty.
Right, very nasty.
So? What do you think she owes you?
The night that the whole thing happened, August 9th, after she was angry that I changed the locks, she was trying to kick in my door. It didn't open, but she messed up the door. I do have pictures. We had to replace the lock again after I just changed it. The molding was pulled away from the door, and then after that, she realized, I don't know if she realized she wasn't going to get it open, or she just got sick of kicking at it. She went over to her car, and she was yelling stuff about, she had some tools that were stored in my trunk because I have a very small apartment. She went to her car, got a crowbar out of her trunk, and went at my trunk with her crowbar.
Anybody ever tell you that you had to give her some notice before you changed the locks on her? You just locked her out with her 11-month-old baby.
She was already planning on moving.
What I'm telling you is, you did it in a disorganized fashion over an incident that was your fault. You took her car and kept it without her permission.
No, that's not why I kicked her out. The reason I kicked her out was the money.
She's not the only one who lives in your house.
No, but my...
She's not the only one who lives in your house?
Right.
I don't know whether she took your money or not. You still are obliged. She's a rent-paying tenant to give her notice, and you didn't. You just can't say, well, I don't like this tenancy anymore. I'm changing the locks and throwing your stuff out. That doesn't work. And you yourself told me, kept going back and forth and back and forth. Should I do this the nasty way or the nice way? Nasty or nice? And at the last minute, you decided to do it the nasty way.
Right, or I could have had a broken house and a fist fight in my living room.
That's possible. You could have also had the police there. But you have to give her a 30-day notice. Or give her 5 days. Or something.
Well, she did. She had a week and a half. There was a day already set for her to move out.
So?
Well, I was already a ton of money in the hole from
Just a
covering
second.
rent.
What date was she supposed to move out?
The 14th.
And what day was this?
The 9th.
The 9th.
When the incident happened.
Change the rules. You get nothing. See, you didn't have to say a word.
This is case number 260 on the calendar in the matter of DeGrace versus Rossi. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
Mr. Grace, you rented a room from the defendant. The tenancy lasted 1 day. You want your money back, and in addition to your money back, you want some punitive damages you claim for invasion of your privacy. Mr. Rossi said you left of your own volition, you broke the terms of your tenancy, and you don't get any money back. Correct?
That is correct.
Okay. What kind of place did you rent to her, Mr. Rossi?
Room inside of a privately owned home.
You're the owner?
Yes.
So you rented her a room in your house with kitchen privileges, I assume?
Correct.
How much did you charge her in rent?
$325.
And what other money did she give you?
First month's additional for utility expenses.
How much did she give you in total?
$575.
Had you advertised for this room?
Yes.
Where?
Buffalo News.
Are you legally able to rent in your home?
Correct.
You are legally able to do that?
Sure.
She signed the lease?
No.
How come?
There was no written contract.
Why not?
Didn't feel the need to.
If you have a tenancy, then you have a contract. It says what your rent is, what security deposit, what it's for, that it'll be returned, what you're going to do with the security deposit, put it in an interest-bearing account. I mean, you want to do all these...
There was no mention of any security deposit, Your Honor.
Well, what was the other $250 for, sir?
Money that she chipped in for the utility expenses the first month.
$250 for your utilities?
Correct.
What utilities cost you $250?
There was no mention of any additional security deposit.
Mr. Rossi, had you ever rented a room before?
No.
Never?
No.
Okay. Who advised you legally?
No one.
That's what I figured. Okay. Now, Mr. Grace, what date did you move in?
January 1st.
When had you seen the room?
3-4 days before it.
And you spoke to Mr. Rossi?
Yes.
Who else lives in the home?
His girlfriend.
Just the two of them?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How old are you?
19.
Your mother. Sit down. Yeah, what happened on January 1st when you moved in?
He helped me move my stuff into the apartment, and he was
What
acting
apartment?
very
It
strange.
was a room.
I'll get to that.
What apartment?
His apartment.
I thought it was a house.
No, it's not.
What is it?
It's an apartment that he is renting.
It's an apartment in a building that he's renting?
No, it's just an apartment, like a house, but he's renting.
From whom?
From his landlord.
Is that true?
It's a privately owned house, Your Honor.
Do you own it?
I don't own the house, no.
That's what I asked you before. Did I ask him that question before?
That's what you asked him.
And what did he say? He said yes.
He said, yeah.
You are a renter.
Yes.
What do you do for a living, Mr. Rossi?
Self-employed contractor.
How long have you been a tenant?
6 years.
In the same place?
Correct.
Did you have permission of your landlord to rent?
Yes.
Show me.
I don't have anything in writing.
Really?
No.
What's your rent?
How much do I pay for rent?
That would be the question, Mr. Rossi.
$470.
Plus what?
Utilities?
So your rent is $470, you're charging her $3 1/4.
Correct.
Go ahead, Mr. Grace. You say he's acting weird. He is weird.
He was not charging me $3 1/4. He was charging me $350.
Okay.
I paid him up front the day before I moved in for $250 for utilities, and the day that I moved in, I paid him $350 for the first month's rent. He refused to give me a receipt saying that I paid him the $350. He said for tax reasons. Then he showed me and my father all these gas bills that he owed. He did not say that he couldn't pay them. He just said that they were too high. And that night, I fell asleep that night. He came in my room. His pit bull first, he didn't tell me he had a pit bull. His pit bull burst into my room and started attacking me, started jumping all over me, biting my arms.
If a pit bull bit your arms, madam, you would know it. Mr. Grace, I don't want you to make up any stories
It was
to
under
embellish.
the covers.
You understand?
Okay, yes.
If a pit bull bites you all over the arms, you would have major scars or some scars.
I was under the covers.
Oh, okay, so his dog came into your room and it scared you.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Then he came in my room smoking pot. He got the dog off of me. And he sat down next to me and he started talking sexually to me. And he said,
lie.
No, it's not. He's the liar.
You felt uncomfortable there, is that right?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Prior to your moving into his room, where had you been living?
At my father's.
Does your father live with your mother?
No.
How long had you been living with your father?
For about 3 years.
Why did you leave your father's house?
I wanted to become more independent.
Were you working?
No, I was going to school.
Full-time or part-time?
Full-time.
Who was going to be paying your rent?
I was.
If you're a full-time student, how are you going to pay your rent?
I am on SSI.
What's the nature of your disability?
Depression, anxiety.
And you take medication for that?
Yes.
You were going to try to make it on your own?
Yes.
Didn't work out. And the next day, you said, I'm going back home. Now, when you left, where did you go?
I didn't go back home. I called up my mother and I was crying.
Okay, so did you go to your mother's house?
Yes.
And you stayed there?
Yes.
Is that where you're living now?
No.
Where are you living now?
I'm living back at my father's.
Okay, good. Everything okay?
At my father's, yes.
Okay. Now, Mr. Rossi, aside from the fact that you illegally rented a room in a place where you were a tenant and you have absolutely no proof of the fact that your landlord gave you permission to do that, I'd like you to tell me what were your out-of-pocket expenses for the 24 hours that Mr. Grace lived in your house? Is not an answer, Mr. Rossi.
Out-of-pocket expenses while she was there for 24 hours?
Yes.
There were none.
Perfect. Then if she left after 24 hours, why didn't you return her money to her?
Because I had to spend time to try to gain access to get myself a new tenant. If I was able to
what
have...
kind of nonsense did he just say? What kind of gobbledygook did he just put together?
I'm not catching it.
You're not catching it. You're not catching it.
You are...
Mr. Grace.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. 19-year-old Allison DeGrace claims former landlord Stephen Rossi caused her to move out after only 1 day. Allison says during her first night there, Stephen entered her room while she was asleep.
Mr. Rossi, my question was, you illegally rented a room, she moved out, you had absolutely no loss as a result of her moving out. If you were aware of the fact, Mr. Rossi, that when she moved in, that she was on medication, a fact that was evident to me, then why didn't you say, look, this is not working out. She's unhappy. I'm going to give her back her money.
I wasn't aware that she was unhappy, Your Honor.
Listen, she moves all of her things into your house. She comes there with her father?
Correct.
With her father. I mean, if you're an intelligent person, you don't look like an unintelligent person, a little slimy, but not unintelligent. You understand that there's a certain dynamic here going on. This was what month? January in Buffalo? It gets very cold, but I'm sure your brain thought out enough in Buffalo in January to understand that there's a certain family dynamic going on here. So if it didn't work out and she was unhappy, she was stressed, whatever it was, you say, here's your $600 back. I'm not out any money. It didn't work out, especially since you were doing something that was in violation of your tenancy. you probably fell behind in some bills, and you probably figured you could get somebody to shore up a little bit, and you did, and you got a $600. You managed to pay off the bills you were behind paying off, and you say you can't have your money back. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $600. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Everything he said was a complete lie.
The girl's on lithium. She's on Prozac. She's only 19 years old.
I'm not on heavy medication.
I think she moved into a place. She moved out the following day. It's her loss.
I'm not crazy.
I think the girl's nuts.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of D'Antuono versus Holdren. Step forward, please.
26-year-old hairstylist Stephanie D'Antuono is suing her ex-boyfriend, personal trainer Thaddeus Holdren, for an unpaid loan to buy a car. Thaddeus says the money didn't become a loan until they broke up.
Mr. D'Antuono, I've read your complaint. You claim a loan to the defendant, who was your live-in boyfriend for a period of time. Is that right?
Yes.
It was a loan for a car?
Correct.
And any other expenses?
Yes, for work that needed to be done on the car.
Mr. Holdren said there was never a loan. His position is that he played the role of house husband.
Yes.
That you have a child that he took care of, and he was a personal trainer. He gave up some time in order to be able to accommodate your schedule, and there was never talk of a loan until two of you separated. So when did you start to live together?
We began to live together only after I had given him the loan. It was in August.
Tell me about the loan.
Thaddeus approached me about loaning him some money for a car that he wanted to buy. I had the funds to help him out, and we discussed it in detail. That
Well, what were the details?
How he had to pay me back. There was no confusion as far
Well,
as...
no, don't tell me there was no confusion. Just tell me what the agreement was. You said it was very specific, so tell me the agreement.
I agreed to loan him the money if he agreed to pay me back in full.
Is that as specific as it went?
Pretty much, yes.
Go ahead.
He agreed to pay me within a certain amount of time.
Well, that's more specific. What was the amount of time?
A couple of months.
Okay.
And when he didn't, he told me he was having some problems and wasn't going to be able to pay me at that certain time. So I was upset, but I agreed to allow him more time if he would give me payments. Whenever he had money, if he could give me some cash or, you know, whatever he was able to do.
So?
So he didn't. He failed to pay me.
When did you move in with him?
He moved in with me.
When did he move in with you?
That was about a year later.
So 1 year later, he's made no payments on this loan, and then you move in together.
Well, he...
Just answer my question.
Sorry. Yes, that's right.
Okay. And you lived together for a year.
No, we did not. We only lived together for about 2.5 months.
Your Honor, a little bit longer than that.
He was at my house on a regular basis, but he did not live there.
Fine. When did that start?
Probably around the time that I gave him the loan. You know, he was staying there maybe a couple nights a week.
More than a couple nights, Your Honor.
That's not correct.
It's over 2 years since this loan was made.
Yes.
And over that period, you have not gotten any payments.
He did pay me $150.
When?
In April of 2001.
Is that right, sir?
I don't know if it was 2001, but I paid her $150. But that's not including everything I did for her and her son. You know,
What did you give her $150 for, Mr. Holdren?
Because, I mean, if I'm with her, I'm living with her, whatever, I expect to do something, you know. I mean, taking care of her son and taking care of stuff around the house and stuff.
That doesn't answer my question, Mr. Holdren. What was the $150 for?
Just for her.
Well, tell me how that came about, the $150 payment.
She gave me the money and things happened. Hold on.
Mr. Holdren, you're trying to think about the right answer. I don't want you to think about the right answer, sir. I want you to think about the truthful answer. You said to me, I gave her $150 when I asked you what it was for. You did a song and dance. Now, I'm asking you the circumstances surrounding you giving her this $150 in March.
Well,
if you say I don't remember what it was for or the surrounding circumstances around it, I will understand that.
Well, I gave her money a couple times, so the $150 is like me giving her money on a regular. I mean, not on a regular, but I gave her money, you know, like any other boyfriend would do. It wasn't like I was giving her $2,000 or you know what I'm saying, like big money, but
Do you remember the circumstances surrounding the $150 payment? The answer is either yes or no.
Yes.
Then tell me what they were.
It was payment for money that I loaned him.
That's not what I asked you. That is the conclusion.
The circumstances?
If you don't remember, say I don't remember. Remember that I will test you. If you don't remember, say it. If you remember, tell me.
I don't remember.
Did he give you any other money during the course of your relationship over the last 2 years?
He paid me $100 after our relationship had ended. This was this past April.
What was the $100 for?
For payment from the loan that I gave him.
Did you give her $100 after you separated?
Yes.
For what?
That was for part of her thinking that I owed her all that money. So $100.
That was
part of me owing her the money.
That was part of her thinking that you owed her the money from the loan?
Right.
Oh, good, that makes it easier. So you did, Mr. Holdren, make a payment to her for this $2,000 loan.
Right.
And you made at least one payment. Is that right?
Right.
And that was made within the past year or so.
Yes.
Now, I'm going to allow you in 30 seconds or less, Mr. Holdren, explain to me why this was not a loan and you don't owe her any money.
Okay, I'll start off with this. We made an agreement when we met. Well, after we met, she has a son. He's 4, well, he was 4 at the time. And her job is very demanding, and she has different hours every day, like early in the morning sometimes and late in the evening sometimes. And her son goes to school early in the morning. She couldn't take him to school, so I would take him to school, get him up, get him dressed, pick him up from daycare, bring him back with me, and wait till she gets off, and he'd hang out with me, whatever, for the period of time, whatever day it was.
So I'm listening. Keep going.
Yeah. I mean, I did everything. I was like a kindergarten cop with him. This whole thing to me is just like she was pimping me through the whole thing. Like, you know, she's my female pimp.
That's a nasty thing to say.
That's how it was, because I was doing everything, but she still just seemed like I owed her this whole $2,500.
Well, let me ask you this question, Mr. Holdren. How much rent did you pay?
I didn't pay rent at her house.
How much did you contribute on a regular basis for food for the house?
Depending if I went out to eat or...
No, in the house.
Little.
How much did you contribute regularly towards the utilities?
None.
So you were basically living rent-free. You had no expenses.
Your Honor, I have my own apartment, too.
Where is your apartment?
At the time, it was on the other side of town from where she lived at, on the west side.
Which side is nicer? Her side.
Yeah.
Mr. Holdren, anything else you want to tell me, sir?
I just felt like I don't owe her the whole $2,500. I mean...
So you don't think you owe her the whole $2,500?
Right.
Tell me what part of the $2,500 you think you owe her?
It would really be hard to say because...
Well, I want you to think hard. I mean, it was your statement that I don't owe her the whole $2,500.
I don't know, because the time that I put into the relationship, not only with her, but her son too, it was like, I couldn't really tell, because I was working in the morning and in the afternoon, and my schedule was flexible because I was a trainer, so I, arrange it where, I could make it a better...
Mr. Holdren,
yes.
What part of the $2,500 do you think you should be given credit for, sir?
I don't know.
So I guess you'll have to leave it up to me, right?
Well, I was hoping you'll feel my side of the story as far as me taking care of her son and everything. Because
no, Mr. Holdren, I'm going to make it very, very easy for you, sir. If there is a contract that provides, even an oral one, that you loaned me this money for the car, and I'm going to work it off by taking care of your son at $1.75 an hour while I'm taking care of him, that will be my contribution, so we're going to take that off the car loan. That's an agreement. But after the fact, you don't make that sort of an agreement. You don't sit back there and scratch your head and say, well, I did all these things for her. Therefore, I shouldn't have to owe her that much on what was originally a loan. Do you understand?
Yes.
That's just a lot of double talk that you're doing for me now. $2,500 was the original loan, and you paid her $250. So judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,250. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Yeah, this is case number 290 on the calendar in the matter of Cantway versus Tyler. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have seats, please.
Ms. Cantway, the defendant is your sister.
Yes.
According to your complaint, she has a car that belongs to you that she refuses to return. And at some point in a dispute over the use of that car, your sister assaulted you. Your sister says that the car is hers, you gave it to her, and that she never laid a hand on you. If anything, she was trying to protect you from yourself. So, Ms. Cantway, tell me how it came to be that your sister actually had possession of your car, because clearly the car is in her possession.
Yes. Last year, July 30th of last year, we decided to write up an agreement. I needed to borrow some money. I was having financial difficulties due to personal situation, and we were going to write up the financial agreement that she was going to loan me the money and use the car. There were other circumstances behind it that she needed help.
Listen to me. Relax. You're going to have a turn to speak. Do you understand? So sometime last year, you were going to write up an agreement.
We did write up an agreement.
Can I see it, please? Now, when did you write up this agreement?
7/30/01.
And what happened? Signed this agreement that you would let her use your 1991 Toyota Tercel and keep it as collateral for $600 loan. You say the loan never came about?
No, the loan never came about.
So, what happened next?
Well, a couple of months went by. We had talked about it a little bit. The situation was good for her at that point because the car that she had been driving, she sold because it was unsafe. She did help me watch my kids, and it was a safe car for her to be able to drive around in. I did have another vehicle at the time.
Where had you gotten this car from?
My mother gave me this car.
When?
Back in 1995.
And you had another car?
At the time that my sister was using mine, yes.
What kind of car did you have?
1996 Camaro.
So what happened a year later?
Well, we had had a few discussions about the car. She was perfectly aware of the situation, that the car was to be used by her, not owned by her. She knew.
Don't tell me what she knew.
Okay, well, as far as my understanding, she knew.
Just don't tell me what she knew.
In February of the following year, I told her that my Camaro is going to have to go. I'm filing bankruptcy. Well, something happened to the Camaro prior to them repoing it on the bankruptcy anyway, but either way, it was going to go. I told her I have to have the vehicle back. We discussed being able to work out terms of sharing the vehicle so that neither one of us would be without a car.
Let me ask you this question, Ms. Cantway. There came a time when you signed over the pink slip to the car to your sister.
Yeah.
When was that?
I think that was probably about a month later, maybe.
A month later when? A month later in?
From the time that we signed the agreement.
So at the end of August?
Yes.
Now, could you explain to me why you signed over the pink slip to your
because
sister?
At the time, I did not have a driver's license, and in order to insure the vehicle, it was extremely expensive. The insurance
What do you mean
company,
you didn't have a driver's license? You told me that you had a...
Yeah, I had a car, but that doesn't mean I drove it.
You told me that you had another car that you were driving.
I didn't drive it. I had another car.
Why weren't you driving it?
I didn't have a license.
Why not?
I made a mistake. Something I had to pay for. Has nothing to do with the situation of why I don't have my Tercel now.
If it has anything to do with drinking, it has to do with the situation, because your sister says part of the problem was you're drinking, driving at the same time, and that the altercation that you had that resulted in you say you getting assaulted had to do with her trying to protect you and your children. So what I'm asking you is, you said you'd made a mistake that had anything to do with a DUI that you received.
Yes, ma'am, it did have to do with a DUI.
Okay. So at the time that you gave her the pink slip for the car, that allowed her to put the car in her name.
For insurance purposes.
No. No. That's prima facie evidence of a gift. If you turn over the pink slip, it says that you are now the owner of the car.
I thought I was getting a loan.
But you didn't get the loan.
I didn't get a loan. I gave her time to give me the money. She's supposedly getting a settlement. I needed the money to pay my attorney. She never got a settlement. I never got any money. So I was without my vehicle and without a loan.
So are you telling me, but for the fact that this transaction never took place, you would have sold her your car for $600?
No, collateral.
Well, let us say that she never gave you the money.
Which never happened.
You never took your collateral back because you had already turned... Right.
I tried.
Okay, now let's move on. Let's move on to this assault that you allege.
July 4th, my sister, I knew, was going to the Baptist church with my mother for the fireworks show, so I called and said that I was going to come and use the car in order to take my children to the fireworks. I received a phone call back that I am not allowed to use the car unless I ask nicely. So I drove over to the house to find out what was wrong, what was going on. We ended up getting into an argument about the agreement, about the car. She grabbed her keys, grabbed her purse, and went down the stairs to get into the vehicle. I sat in the passenger seat, and I turned it off. I said, you're going to...
No, just a minute. She ran downstairs, and you followed her.
I walked downstairs, followed her, yes.
Go ahead.
I turned off the ignition. As I did that, she reached over, grabbed my hand, scratched up my hand right here. I threw the keys out the window as kind of just a response to being grabbed. She started to claw at me. I threw up my hands, grabbed her wrists, and asked her to stop. What are you doing, is what I said.
Okay, Miss Tyler, I'll hear you.
When we did the agreement, I was the one that did that. I said, Serena, I want to give you something for the car. She said, look, I'll sign over the pink slip. I really don't want the money. But I went ahead and did that anyway.
No, that's not what
true.
happened, Ms. Tyler. Just pay careful attention to
Okay.
me. That's not what happened. Not unless you can show me that the pink slip to the car was signed over on July 30th.
This was signed over on September the 14th.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Right.
So it wasn't signed over on July 30th. Well, let's get your story together.
Okay. So anyway.
Now let's start from the beginning so that you can hopefully get your story together properly. Your best defense is the truth. I want you to understand that.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Serena Catway says she used her car as collateral for a loan from her sister, Suzanne Tyler. Serena says the loan never happened and Suzanne won't return the car. Serena also claims Suzanne assaulted her.
You sign this piece of paper.
Right.
You signed it.
Right.
This piece of paper says you're getting this car as collateral towards a loan for $600 in which I will repay her at $25 a month. That's what this says.
Oh, that is not the one. I don't have a copy of that.
Really? Oh, show this to
No,
her. I'm
I don't.
sorry.
I don't,
Show that to
Your
her,
Honor.
please. Do you have that?
This is not the one, Serena.
Oh, wait, do you have...
No, I don't have a copy of this.
No, do you have a copy of any agreement that you
No,
signed?
no.
Okay, but you never signed that?
No.
Good. Can I have it, please?
That is the agreement, Your Honor.
Okay. I
There
don't
is
know
no
that
other
at all.
agreement.
I don't know that at all. Go ahead.
So on September the 14th, my sister signed over the title of the car.
Tell me about the conversation that you had with her.
I did tell her I did want to give her some money for the car. This was before she signed this over. I said, I don't feel right about it. But she said, don't worry about it. Mom got the car for me, and it's like a family heirloom. I'm going to pass it down to you.
That's not true.
Okay. Can I see the pink slip?
I've
Can I see
never called the
title?
car a family heirloom.
Go ahead.
So then after this, I was always driving her kids around because she had 2 DUIs. So I was doing that for her. And then I think it was a few months after that, Serena had mentioned that she was behind on her Camaro payments. And so it was not too long after that that she totaled the Camaro. And
I didn't total the Camaro.
Yes, you did, Serena.
Ms. Tyler, just talk to me.
She
Don't
totaled the
interrupt me.
Camaro. She didn't have any insurance. The car was going to be repossessed. So she hid the car in the garage for 3 weeks. And she went down and she got an insurance company to insure the car. When her boyfriend got back from Spain, they went and they told the insurance company that he was the one that was driving it, so she
Your
wouldn't
Honor.
get in trouble because she didn't have a license. So then
I was
she
filing
made
bankruptcy. I'm sorry, but I was going to lose the car. I did not wreck it.
Go ahead.
Ma'am, okay. Then after this, it was like a few weeks after that, her and her girlfriend came up to the house.
You're talking about the incident in July?
No,
July
ma'am.
4th?
She's talking.
This was in the spring of 2002 when she wrecked the Camaro.
Okay, she wrecked the Camaro.
Right,
Go
and
ahead.
it was like 2 weeks after that. I was sitting on the front porch, and her and her friend came over, and a friend of hers was outside talking to me, and Serena went in the house, and she said, you need to give the car back to Serena. And I said, what are you talking about?
And what did you do to her?
And I said,
Miss
what are you...
Cantway,
I'm sorry,
I don't
ma'am.
want to hear you.
I'm sorry, ma'am.
I said, what are you talking about? And she says, you need to give that car back to Serena. And I says, this is an agreement between me and Serena. It's really none of your business. And I asked her to leave. And then she got really belligerent with me and said something about my son who was brutally murdered 5 years ago. So I called the cops and asked her to please leave.
Who said that to you, the friend?
Yeah, her
Okay,
friend of
a
hers.
friend. Keep going.
So then I asked, Serena was there, and I came out. I said, Serena, what is... I called the cops because I said, you got to get this woman off my property.
Okay.
So then I told Serena, I says, what is the deal with the car?
Don't interrupt her.
I'm not interrupting.
She didn't
I was raising
interrupt.
my hand.
No. She didn't interrupt you while you were testifying.
Yes.
When she did once, I told her to be quiet, and she waited. That's what I'm telling you. Do you
Okay.
understand?
Yes.
I don't have to say it again. It irritates me to be irritated.
I'm sorry to irritate you.
Good.
Serena Catway says she used her car as collateral for a loan from her sister, Suzanne Tyler. Serena says the loan never happened and Suzanne won't return the car. Serena also claims Suzanne assaulted her.
Keep going.
So then I confronted Serena because she was there, and I said, what is the deal with the car? What is this about this contract that you're talking about? And she says, well, I was using that against Scott in case he wanted to get his hands on the car. And I'm going, what are you talking about? And I want the car back after you get your settlement. And I'm thinking, and I told Serena, I says, well, Serena, I don't know why you...
What settlement, Ms. Tyler, is she talking about?
Yeah, because I have a workman's comp settlement. I broke my neck, and I'm still recovering from that.
Would you tell me, please, what happened on the 4th of July of 2002?
Yes, Serena wanted to borrow the car, and she had borrowed the car 5 days in a row because I know she was out of vehicle, and I was trying to do the nice thing for her.
And you had your driver's license back at that time?
Oh, yes, she did get it back, yeah. So, but there in that week, she had, I know this for a fact, because she left the house and she drove the car twice drunk, and she let somebody else drive the car. So during that evening on the 3rd, I was sitting on the porch with family members. They were concerned. They said, you're going to have to not let Serena drive the car. So I said, well, I know this is going to be a problem. So the next day when she asked me to use the car, I said, honey, I got errands to run. I said, I'll try to arrange a ride for you, and we'll try to see what we can work out. Well, then she came over shortly after our conversation on the phone, extremely upset with me, yelling and screaming. I said, Serena, quit yelling at me. And then she brought up the contract, the $600. She kept it up, and I said, I've got to get away from here. So I grabbed my keys, and I began to go down the stairs. She followed me. She got in the car. She grabbed the keys. We were like this, and she started punching on me, and then she threw the keys out the window. And then when I waited, I had a second set of keys. When she went back upstairs, I got in the car, rolled the windows, and I took off, and I went to my cousin's house. And I left town. I left town the following week because I got tired of the abuse, and I moved to Napa.
Ms. Cantway, I'm certainly hearing two diverse stories.
I see that, yeah.
My job is made very easy by the fact that neither of you dispute the fact that you signed over the pink slip to this car, not conditionally, not as a lien holder, but for all purposes to your sister. If you had signed it over to her and been a lien holder for $600, because that was the condition of giving it to her, that she would pay you $600 or give you $600, there would have been a lien on the car for $600.
Yeah.
But you did not. You signed it over so that she is now the owner of that car.
Yep.
So your lawsuit with regard to the return of the car is dismissed. With regard to the assault, since I find that this was her car and you had absolutely no right to get into her car, to pull the keys out of the ignition, to stop the car.
Your Honor.
I'm speaking. She says it's because you had either let someone else drive the car or
nobody else
family
drove the
I'm
car.
speaking, or people told her that you were driving the car while you were intoxicated. And if it's her car in her name, she is liable for anything that happens to the car. In any event, you had no right to get into the car, pull the ignition keys out, toss them out, and if she scratched your hand at the time that you were struggling over the car keys, she has a right to do that.
Yes.
Because it's her car.
I had driven the car drunk, Your Honor.
No, it doesn't make any difference.
I took the dog to the vet to be put down, and I picked his daughter up from school.
Let's say you weren't driving the car drunk. You still have absolutely no right to get into her car and touch her property, and she has the right to use whatever force is necessary to get your hands off the ignition keys. And if she scratched your hand while she was doing it, she scratched your hand. That's it. I mean, it's certainly very sad
She neglected to mention to you what she did to the other girl who was supposedly so belligerent at her house. The other girl mentioned, why don't you give the vehicle back to Serena? It is her car. Do you know what she did to that girl? She grabbed her by the bottom of her neck and scratched her all the way up to her ears.
Now, if this person that you brought to the house said something to her about her child who was murdered in the course
they said nothing about that.
You were inside. You were inside. You were not outside.
I
when
was
that
outside.
No, I don't. Ms. Cantway,
the porch
I
is
don't
right
believe
there.
a whole lot of what you're telling me. What I do believe is that you gave your sister your car because you had another car. You had no use to have for this second car. You had a newer car.
I wish
the
I was
newer,
that
I'm
rich.
speaking. The newer car got repossessed. You said, I want my car back. She said, I'm not giving you your car back. She said, but I'll share it with you. I'll share it with you. You use it when you need it, and I'll use it when I need it. And then you had an argument.
No.
And you want a court to resolve it as a family dispute. I don't intend to do that. Your case is dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
He's got a lot of animosity to me. and it really hurts my feelings, and I wish it didn't have to come to this.
I just found out the blood's not thicker than water.
She was demanding and wanted it back, and it wasn't just going to work out that way for her this time.
According to her, I'm the spoiled one that gets her way all the time. Well, obviously not, huh?
Maybe somewhere down the road we can settle it.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Panzeri versus Maria. Step forward, please.
25-year-old dental hygienist Gina Panzieri is suing her former friend, 23-year-old student Heather Merrier, for her share of a vacation in Daytona Beach.
Ms. Panzieri, you and the defendant had been good friends, decided to take a vacation together. According to your complaint, one of you purchased the tickets, the airline tickets, and the other one reimbursed for half. And then the agreement was that the defendant would pay you for half the hotel. You booked that on your credit card. You went away, she didn't pay, you want her half.
Correct.
Now, you had an agreement to pay half the hotel.
Yes.
You went away with her.
Yes.
You didn't pay half the hotel.
No.
You have a defense.
Yes.
Okay. How much is half the hotel?
Her half of the hotel is $1,075.44.
Okay. And can I see the documentation for that,
Absolutely.
please? Okay. I want to let you know that I'm looking at the bill. The bill indicates that the only thing on here was the room, the tax, room charge, so there were no other additional charges on this bill. You understand that?
Yes.
It's clear you did not pay her your half.
Yes.
Tell me very quickly what your defense is.
Well, we arrived in Daytona, and the first 3 days were fine, and every day after that was awful. She was an absolute nightmare. She acted like my mother. We went down there to have
So you
a
didn't
good
have a
time.
good time together?
No, not at all.
And so what did you do?
I didn't stay in the hotel half the time.
You stayed where?
I stayed with friends that I met down there.
Fine. Where you stayed in their hotel?
Yep.
Did you pay them?
Nope.
Good. So you have to pay her. Understand?
Yep.
If you had a bad time, then you don't plan on going with her again. Do you understand?
Yes.
But you pay pursuant to your agreement, and then you say, I'm not going to make arrangements to do this anymore.
Yep.
You have to pay once. You didn't pay at all. Right?
Yes.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,075. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You
Attorney John Malcolm says his cat Virginia was killed by his neighbor, Gerald Tripp's pit bull. Gerald has offered to pay $12.50 to replace the cat. But John says that is not enough.
Mr. Tripp, this is your dog?
Yes, ma'am.
Your dog killed the plaintiff's cat.
So they
You don't
say.
seem to deny that.
Well, I don't know that for sure neither.
Put your hands down, sir. From your answer to Mr. Malcolm's complaint, you sort of... Am I boring you?
Definitely. I apologize.
Well, then I'll try to make it as fast as possible. Mr. Malcolm, you two were neighbors?
Yes, we are.
I would like you to tell me what you observed. Give me the date of the incident.
On July 29th, at about 1:15 in the morning, I was awoken by the loud barking of a dog and the scream of a cat. And this was a horrific scream. It wasn't like an ordinary cat fight. It was a bloody murder type scream. I got up out of bed, ran to the other end of the house, looked out the kitchen window, and in my field of view, which is about 30 degrees, I could see at least two people standing, not more than this distance from here to the dog, watching that dog attack our cat.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Tell him how you really
It
feel.
stopped.
Tell him, Malcolm. Come on. Tell him.
How do I really feel?
Tell him how you
I
feel,
would like to have a piece of him. I really would.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. John Malcolm says he witnessed the killing of his cat by his neighbor Gerald Tripp's pit bull. Gerald says cats are disposable.
Where did this happen, sir?
This happened about 10 feet away from our front porch.
Okay, so it was on your property?
Yes, it was.
What did you do?
I ran to the back of the bedroom, got my pants and a flashlight, and ran out. And I think I said something like, hey, you guys just killed my cat. The dog was already gone at that point. He was already gone.
You mean the defendant?
The defendant. His brother Rodney.
That's this young man here?
Yes, seated with the dog. And another young man also with a close cropped haircut like that, turned and walked away. I knelt down and saw Virginia, and she was just ripped to shreds. She was crushed.
How long had you had the cat, sir?
I've had her for 12 years, and she's been a beloved family member. My wife and children have cared a great deal about her.
Okay, Mr. Tripp, I'll hear your side of the story, sir. I'm going to make this fast so that you don't fall asleep.
Yeah.
Put your hands down.
I was woken up by my dad that said the cops were outside, wanted to talk to me about my dog killing a cat.
Listen to me. Slowly. You were awakened by your father.
Yeah, I was awakened by the old man. He woke me up, said, come outside. The cops want to talk to you about your dog killing a cat. So I went outside. I find this dude right here. He was kicking it. And then 2 cops and a dead cat. I get with my family, and they fill me in on what had happened. I guess.
Did you see what happened, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Stand up here.
Yeah.
Maybe you're a little more articulate than your brother.
Yeah.
Yo, hold on to that dog.
Come here, man.
Put the dog on a leach.
The dog's on a leash.
And hold it. Go ahead, sir.
Okay, ma'am. I was woke by my friend Greg, the other witness that he mentioned. He came inside yelling that there was someone breaking into my vehicle. I went outside, and when I ran outside the front door, Max followed me. I observed the cat in the corner of my eye in my front yard. My dog ran over to the cat as I was running to the car. Ran the car, I seen it got broke into.
Try looking at me.
The steering column and everything was busted out, and I could hear the cat screaming. So I look over, and next thing I know, he comes running outside. Your dog's killing my cat. Your dog's killing my cat. I was
But
like,
by
yes.
this time, sir, the dog and the cat were on his property.
The dog chased the cat onto his property.
The dog chased the cat onto his property.
Yeah, after it was in our front yard.
Sit down. So once this happened, which one of these 2 geniuses said to you, too bad about your cat, man?
This one.
Yeah, sounds right. All right, and he offered to pay you $12 for your cat.
$12.50, Your Honor.
Because
he tells
he
me
said-
that cats are disposable.
Mm-hmm.
One's as good as another.
I suppose he feels that way about his dog.
Your Honor?
You don't feel the same way about your dog?
Most definitely. Easy come, easy go.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
Mr. Tripp, how old are you, sir?
22, ma'am.
22. And how do you support yourself?
Unemployed.
So you don't support yourself?
Correct.
How many times have you been arrested?
How many times have I been arrested?
That was my question. I understood my question.
You know, it's really, I want to say once. One time that I remember. He knows all about it. He was asking me about it the other day.
And who do you live with?
I live with my father.
Who else?
My dog. My brother. The other members of our family.
Uh-huh.
Who do you live with?
You ever been in a drug rehabilitation program?
Man, that's none of your business, I feel.
Well, I'll tell you what is my business, Mr. Tripp. I'm awarding the plaintiff $1,500. It's more than he's requested for the damage that was done to his family emotionally and the damage to his cat and the suffering that the cat suffered. Sir, you've only been arrested according to your statement once at this time in your life. You continue with that kind of an attitude when you're in court. I guarantee you this will not be the last time you're before a judge. That's all.
All right, excuse. You may step out.
See that, right? That wasn't so bad, huh?
Judge Judy will continue in a moment. And on the next...
Please.
76-year-old Helen Uditsky says her grandson, 25-year-old David Union, refuses to repay her for a motorcycle she put on her credit card. She also claims he stole her jewelry.
Order. All rise. Yeah, this is case number 395 on the calendar in the matter of Uditsky versus Union. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ma'am.
Mrs. Uditsky, this is your grandson.
Yes. Was.
Well, he still is. Your grandson.
Yeah.
You may be angry at him.
Very.
I assume so. If you filed a lawsuit against him, I assume he's done things to make you very angry.
Yeah.
But your lawsuit complains of really 2 things. The first thing is that you made a loan to him so he could buy a motorcycle. Is that right?
No. It was put on my credit card.
Did you go with him to the store to buy the motorcycle?
I went with him to the store.
How did that come about that you went with him to the store, Mrs. Uditsky?
Because he was crying to me that he had no way of getting to work. He had the girl that he lives with, plus he's got 2 babies. And I felt sorry for the babies because half the time they weren't eating. There was no food.
Were you living with him at the time?
At that time, I had come from San Jose because I was so cold up there that I was staying there. And it wasn't going to be a permanent thing. It was just going to be temporary. I was staying with them at that time. Mandy just turned 4, and Cameron just turned 2.
These are your 2 children, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
How old are you?
I'm 25.
And how old are your children now?
They're
4 and 2.
Are you married to their mother?
No, I'm not.
Why not?
Good question.
Well, I know it's a good question. That's why I asked it. Why aren't you married to their mother?
Just hasn't gotten around to it yet.
Some
Financial reasons.
But you live together.
Yes, we do.
She collect welfare?
No.
The children collect welfare?
No.
You sure?
Yes.
Any support from the state?
No. None whatsoever.
So why don't you get married?
Financial reasons.
What financial reason? What's the difference if you're living together? I'm just curious. Miss Uditsky, just give me a moment, please. I'm always trying to get information. See what this world is like now.
Because we've decided not to yet, Your Honor.
Why? You
we
made
just
2
decided.
babies.
You can have 2 babies and not be married.
Sure. Okay. Everybody does that these days.
All right.
That doesn't make it right.
Doesn't make it right. We have not decided to get married.
What kind of work do you do?
Right now, I don't do any work. I watch my kids all day.
And your girlfriend?
She is a...
Where does she work now?
Nail Money.
What kind of work does she do?
Accounts receivable on a computer.
Uh-huh. And who supports the family?
Well, I do part ways, like through bowling tournaments, and she does through working.
You do bowling tournaments? Mm-hmm. What does that mean?
I'm a bowler.
Bowling tournaments. Miss Uditsky, I'm not going to get to the jewelry yet because you also say that you believe that your grandson's...
Jewelry from my husband that my husband bought me. I have proof. My daughter's here. Jewelry from my husband that my husband bought me. I have proof. My daughter's here. She will tell you the jewelry that my husband bought for me. And I swore up and down that if this ring had disappeared, he would be dead and I would be in jail. Because this is the last thing that my husband gave me. Now, they made their bar mitzvah together. Him at 13, my husband at 70. They had a 3-day affair. My husband's 2 wishes in life were to make a bar mitzvah, which he couldn't make when he was younger, and to go to homeland. After the bar mitzvah, I sent them to Israel, 15 days.
You mean your husband and your grandson?
Right. I couldn't go because I'm handicapped. I sent them there for 15 days. The first thing out of my husband's mouth when he come home is, Mama, now if God wants me, he can have me. He says, I've gotten the wishes I wanted. That was all of 1985. December 1st, 1985, my husband passed away. This is the last ring, and my husband bought me loads of gold. She'll tell you. He was always buying me beautiful things. 48 years. I love that man. There's another man in the world for me.
What makes you think that
this boy stayed in my bedroom when I had my hip broken in the house there from the dog, when the dog pushed me, and I was in the hospital for 3 weeks. I have a metal plate with 4 metal bolts here. He stayed in my bedroom. He stole the money from me, from in my drawers, from my purse. She'll attest to what was missing. She knows that he slept in my room. Money in the house because the babies would come and they'd say, Bubby, kept money in the house because the babies would come and they'd say, Bubby, we're hungry. Bubby, I'm hungry. Make me something, Bubby.
Would you step up here?
So
Tell me your last name.
Capricorn.
It's Capricorn. You're his mother?
Yes, sir.
He has stolen from her. He has stolen from everybody.
Has your son been in trouble during his teenage years?
Yes. She would have to attest to it because when he was a baby, I was having problems of my own, and my mother and father took custody of him, and he didn't start staying with me until he was 16. But her and my father had taken care of him until then. Okay.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
She's still my sister, and to this day, I still consider her as my sister.
But she isn't.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Helen Uditsky wants her grandson, David Union, to return the jewelry and the money spent on a motorcycle.
Let me tell you what this is. Your grandmother is so angry and hurt at you, which is why I've let her tell me this story, because she just had to get it out. Because it sounds to me as if she took on the responsibility of raising you for 16 years almost.
Correct.
It was probably something that she didn't bargain for, that she didn't necessarily relish, but it was an obligation that she and your grandfather took over when your mother wasn't in a position to take care of you, for whatever reasons. We don't have to go into that. And what she's saying is you haven't done the right thing to her, for her. You know, parents have the responsibility of raising their children, not grandparents. When grandparents have to raise their children, it's usually because their children screw up. And it's usually at a time when they have looked forward all of their lives to some peace. When you're 75 years old, you sort of figure you've paid your dues. You got it?
I understand.
Good. Now, why didn't you give back the money for the motorcycle?
It was, under my understanding, it was a birthday present.
Well, what makes you think it was a birthday present, Mr. Union?
I was looking through a motorcycle magazine. I said I was going to have my friend AJ pick me up and go look at a motorcycle. I called AJ up and she said, well, why don't you have AJ take me and I'll put it on my card and this will be your early birthday present. It was just before my birthday.
What birthday?
Just in September, my 25th birthday. That way I can go to work and back and whatnot. That's it.
So then let me ask you this question, Mr. Union. Why do you think that if that's the case, your grandmother is suing you for this money? Why? She's got all of her marbles. I'm telling you that right now. If it was
That's not true, Your Honor.
What's not true?
That's not true.
That she has all the marbles?
No,
oh,
that's not true at all.
Oh,
okay.
yes, it's true.
After my grandmother had an operation, me and my girlfriend were smoking marijuana in the hospital room.
You were?
She was, no. The doctors had given her Demerol and caused her to lose her mind.
Oh, yeah?
Basically.
You mean forever?
No, not forever. I'm not saying forever. I mean, just caused her to just not be at one state of mind, at a state of mind.
Yeah, well, that happens when you're taking Demerol,
right.
sir. When you're given Demerol, sometimes you have fantasy and things aren't reality.
That's correct.
But when she took you down with her credit card, sir, she wasn't on Demerol.
I understand that.
No. So why do you think, Mr. Union, that your grandmother, who raised you, who cleaned your diapers, who cleaned up after you when you got stomach aches in the middle of the night, who helped you with your homework, who paid for you to go to Israel with your grandfather when you were 13, who nurtured you, why do you think that now your grandmother is standing there suing you for something that was a gift? You explain that to me.
I can't explain that. Because
neither can I. It doesn't make sense, does it? Now let's get to the jewelry.
I know nothing about jewelry.
Now.
I don't even know what jewelry she's talking about.
Mrs. Uditsky.
That's enough.
I don't know what kind of problems he has. I assume that you will tell me that he had access to your mother's room and stayed in your mother's room when she was in the hospital. Is that right?
Yes.
So he certainly had the opportunity to take property from her room. And I don't know whether he had the inclination, but he had the opportunity. But he was not the only person in that house, right?
Right.
Who else was in the house?
His girlfriend, her, and two babies, and then Diane's father.
He worked all day. So that, well, it doesn't take long to go into a room. Mrs. Uditsky, the problem is with regard to the jewelry that you got from your husband. whatever amount of money that I could award you, even if I were satisfied that you had been able to prove that he took it, would not compensate for the articles of jewelry themselves. Because what you're really saying is those are things that were precious to you.
Very precious.
But in a court, you have to be able to prove to me that he took it. Now, there's no question in my mind that he's a liar. There's no question in my mind that he's a liar.
Thank you.
That you put this motorcycle on your credit card because he asked you to do that.
Both from it.
Because he asked you to do that, and he needed transportation. And this baloney story about it being a gift because you were on Demerol is just that you're losing your marbles. Clearly not all your mental faculties about you, but you still have to prove to me that he took your jewelry.
He did take my jewelry.
I know you say he did. He says he didn't. He probably did.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
I'm going to say it to you again because I have a feeling that you got something else in between your ears other than what God should have given you.
There's nothing.
Yeah, there's nothing in between your ears. You're absolutely right, sir.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Helen Uditsky wants her grandson, David Union, to pay her back for a motorcycle and some jewelry. He says she's just upset because his girlfriend, Diane Bondison, betrayed a family secret.
What items of jewelry are missing, Mrs. Uditsky?
I have a charm that had rubies. I have a Star of David ring. It's like the other ring. This other one was my great-grandmother's ring, and it was passed down to me. So this one I had restored, but I had a ring same like this, only with the Star of David in there. Everything that my husband bought me, other than the chains, were all religious articles. I converted to Judaism. I was not born a Jew. I converted 48 years ago, and I have lived that life.
How many grandchildren do you have?
I don't have any. I'm through. I have a daughter here, and I have
one
a daughter
child
in San Jose.
Does your daughter in San Jose have any children?
Yes,
she does. Right to her right.
She has children, but she is my stepdaughter.
Okay.
That was my husband's daughter.
Do you have any other biological children other than this daughter here?
She's adopted.
She's your daughter?
She's my daughter.
Granddaughter.
Yes.
Excuse me, Your Honor, that's her
it.
granddaughter. My Aunt Sandra is her mother.
Judge,
no.
It's just to make a long story short, okay?
This is the reason why she's mad at me.
Sandra, who I was always, when I was younger, thought she was my sister, in reality is my mother. I found this out when I was 16 years old, and I've known for many, many, many years. My mother had made a promise to her that, as far as anybody's concerned, I was her daughter, that's it. So, for all purposes, she's still my sister, and to this day, I still consider her as my sister.
But she is, in fact, your biological mother.
Right. I had made the promise because my daughter was going to, got into trouble, having a child out of wedlock, was going to give it up for adoption. My husband and I says, no, this is family. No, we will adopt her. We got a lawyer, and when the baby was born, it was her. When the baby was born, we took her home from the hospital, and we've raised her all her life that we could.
What had happened was when they were bringing her from San Jose, Diane was riding with her, and my mom told Diane I was Sandra's daughter. Okay, and she made a promise to her not to say anything.
I thought she'd keep her word to God. That's all.
I didn't say anything to him until after I found out that you told her the truth, and he was the only one that...
Your Honor, I had told David a long time ago.
This is the reason why everyone's mad at she's mad at me because
she's
I
mad at
found
me
out.
because I told him the truth.
This is the whole reason why. This was a birthday present. I stole no jewelry.
So let me ask you this, sir. Why do you think she's angry at you? Now, that has nothing to do with him.
Because all she cares about now is money. That's all she cares about, okay? The motorcycle was $2,000. She's trying to sue me for $4,000 now.
She says that she took jewelry
I didn't take any jewelry, okay? 10 years ago, 10 years ago.
Took him to pick up the motorcycle. I asked him where he got the money for it because I knew 10 years ago.
She did not pay her. She took it to small claims court and won. If this was a loan, she would have made me sign something. This was not a loan. This was a birthday present.
Your Honor,
that's what it was.
That is a lie.
I did not
because
sign anything.
I took him to pick up the motorcycle. I asked him where he got the money for it because I knew he didn't have any. He told me he got a loan. This is what he told me in the car.
He didn't tell you from whom?
No, he told me in the car on the way, and I knew who he got the how he got the motorcycle was from her.
What did we get him for his birthday?
For his
together?
birthday, we got him a bowling ball and to enter him into a bowling contest. This is what he was given for his birthday present in September.
Sounds to me that whether Mrs. Juditzky is your grandmother or your great-grandmother.
That's not an issue. You're right. That's not an issue.
It's not an issue.
The issue was that this was a birthday present. This was
Baloney! Baloney! It was no birthday present, sir. It was no birthday present.
Were you there?
I get $1,000.
Big mistake. No, but let me tell you something. Common sense and this story suggests to me, and I've said it to you once before, I'm going to say it to you again because I have a feeling that you got something else in between your ears other than what God should have given you.
There's nothing.
Yeah, there's nothing in between your ears. You're absolutely right, sir. Nothing.
Judge Judy is ready to rule.
Common sense says that a lady who took care of you, wiped your rear end, wiped your brow, took your temperature, nursed you for 16 years, isn't going to bring you to court unless she's really hurt. And the reason she's really hurt is because not only did you take this money that you borrowed from her for the motorcycle, but that you stole from her.
No, I didn't.
When she wasn't in her room, when she was in a hospital, you stole from her, and you stole from her the things that her husband, the 46 years, had given to her that were very precious. 48 years that were very precious to her. That's what common sense dictates to me. So,
she just
Mr.
deserves
Union,
a doctor for her act.
get a job. And you, madam, you want to work? That's terrific. You don't want strangers to take care of your babies? That's too bad. You got babies to support, you got to work. And this guy over here has now a $5,000 judgment to pay off, so he better get a job. That's all. Judgment for the plaintiff.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
She's a money lover. That's all it is. She's just turned into a money-hungry, you know what.
David, you told me.
That's it.
You told me that. David, come here.
I'm done. Period.
He has even gotten so mad at me that he's thrown me against the wall, and that's when I told him he had to move out of my house.
Okay, I'm out of here now.
I just want her to have what she needs so she could be in peace. That's all.
Parties on Opp versus Gallagher. Step forward, please.
29-year-old Julie Opp and her boyfriend, John Gallagher, a private investigator, drove to Mexico so Julie could live out a private fantasy, to dance in a strip club. But when the time came, John got jealous and a fight erupted at the border.
Order. All rise. Quiet, please. All rise. Judges, number 7 on the calendar in the matter of Opp versus Gallagher. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Well, this is some story, depending upon the version. Bottom line, Miss Opp, you are suing the defendant, Mr. Gallagher, because you say he assaulted you on a recent trip to Mexico.
Yes.
Why you were there is somewhat in dispute. We'll get to that in a minute. He says that you assaulted him first. Something that you don't really deny in your papers.
Yes, I did.
All right, so let's start at the beginning. Were you his girlfriend?
We were girlfriend and boyfriend.
For how long? Before you took this trip, this fateful trip?
Probably a year and a half.
What were you doing in Mexico?
We originally went down there to get him some steroids and some medicine that takes you off of steroids.
No, that's not true, Your Honor.
Well, I'll get to you in a second. All right, so tell me when you left. You left for Mexico on what day of the week?
We left on the 17th. I don't remember what day of the week that was.
Was it on a weekend?
I don't even remember.
Were you planning on spending a few days there?
No, we just went there for the day to pick up his steroids.
So you left in the morning?
Yeah.
What time did you get there?
I think it was around 10.
In the
11.
morning?
Yeah.
So what did you do? Tell me about the day.
We got there and we went to the pharmacy to look for his stuff, and he wanted to find a doctor where he could get his steroids, and that took an hour or two, and then we went, had some tacos, drank a few beers, and basically that took a couple more hours. Then we went to a strip bar. We had previously talked about me dancing, and I said no, I'm not comfortable
Well, tell me
with
if
it.
that's what I don't. That's what I find so interesting about this case. You went to a few strip bars and you talked about you dancing.
We went, well, before we went to the strip bar, we talked about it.
What was the conversation?
He wanted to see me dancing.
No.
Oh.
Go ahead.
He wanted to see me dance because it was kind of like a fantasy thing between us. He just wanted to see it. I wasn't a dancer. He'd never seen me on a stage, and I told him if I did do it, I would need to drink a lot in order to get up there. And so we went to the strip bar. I drank a lot, and
you got pretty drunk?
I don't really get drunk because I get sick really easy, but I got tipsy. Definitely, I had to relax in order to do it.
Okay.
And so I drank. He said, "Come on, keep doing it, you know, go do it." And finally, I did it. I went up there and I danced. And when I got down
at the strip bar.
Yes. And
Bandies.
Do you have to? I mean, can anybody just go there and do this? Do you have to ask a manager?
Anybody can do it. There was other American girls there doing it too. And there was a bunch of Marines. It wasn't.
Okay. Feels foolish now, doesn't it?
I've never done it before.
Oh, okay.
And it was supposed to be something private between him and I, and it didn't end up that way.
So what happened? You danced?
I danced. I was done. We went to another bar, and he's like, do it here, and we're sitting there, and there was a girl dancing in front of us, and he says, give me $1, I want to tip her. I said, I'm not going to give you $1 to tip her. Use your own money. And we got into an argument from that point on. So we walked out of the strip bar, and we're arguing on the street, and he called me a whore, and I said, how could you call me a whore? You're the one who talked me into doing this. And he goes, I'm sorry. He goes, I shouldn't have said that. Hit me. And I go, no. And he goes, hit me, you're a whore. And he just kept saying it. Finally, I hit him. I mean, we were arguing. It wasn't just a calm thing.
So you hit him?
So I hit him.
Where'd you hit him?
I'm sorry?
Where did you hit him?
In the face.
One time or more than one time?
One time, and then he called me a whore and told me, hit me again. So I hit him one more time. And then we grabbed a taxi.
3 times.
And then we grabbed a taxi, and we were driving back because we were going to get in trouble at that point. And he started calling me a whore again. So instead of hitting him, I grabbed my clog off my foot and hit him over the head. So I went and hit him in the face. But tempers were not good, and he kept calling me a whore. And
he was pretty drunk too.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So
you get to the border.
We get to the border, and things have calmed down. We're back on this side. It's kind of over. I said I had to go to the bathroom before we go back, and in the parking lot where you park, there's a public restroom, and we went in there, and he starts arguing, and he's talking about it, and I said, I don't want to talk about this anymore. I don't want to argue. It's over. Let's just go home. It's been a bad day. And I tried to get out of the bathroom because I was done, and he wouldn't let me out of the bathroom. He kept arguing with me. And so I went to open the door, unlock the door, and get out. So it was hot and stinky. It's gross in there. And he wouldn't let me out. Finally, he grabbed me, and he pulled me away from the door and shoved me against the wall. And then that's when the back of my head hit the wall, and I passed out. And he was yelling at me, stop it, you're faking it, you're faking it. And I was looking at him saying, I'm not faking it, I'm passing out right now. And I was slumping down to the ground. And when I came to, because I kind of went out, when I came to, I noticed my hearing was gone. And then I became hysterical because I didn't know what was wrong. I'd never even heard of a ruptured eardrum. I didn't know what it was. I thought I had gone deaf for some reason. And I started screaming to him. We walked back to the car. He finally let me out, and we started to drive away. I said, take me to a hospital. This isn't normal. There's something wrong with me. Take me to a hospital. And he said, no, I'm not, you know, you're fine. You're faking it. And so I grabbed my cellular phone because he wasn't going to take me to the hospital to dial 911, and he grabbed the phone and wouldn't let me call. And so because he wouldn't go to the hospital, I opened the door and pretended I was going to jump out. In order to let him know that I was serious, I needed to go to the hospital.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
She would remain anonymous. No one would find out about this, and she could let her inhibitions go.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Julie Opp is suing ex-boyfriend John Gallagher, claiming he punctured her eardrum during a fight over her amateur stripping debut.
So you have medical bills that you want him to pay for?
Yes.
What were your medical bills?
One's the doctor's bill, which is $228.64. One is the lab bill, which is $267.24. And then there's the emergency hospital bill, which is $1,306.
Okay, Mr. Gallagher. You had enough water, sir?
Oh, yeah.
Good. Let's hear your story. You went to Mexico.
I'll tell you the real version of the story. Actually, it started about a week before the date we went down. I can't recall the date, but the week prior, she had gone down to Mexico with a girlfriend named Melissa, done the same thing. She had been flirting with the idea of possibly trying, dancing at nightclubs. And, can't blame her. She's, pretty attractive and can make a lot of money at it. So they had gone down and came back and told me the story how she had gotten up on stage. And I don't think she actually meant to, but she ended up getting up on stage and she made a bunch of money. And she was kind of excited. And it probably was a fantasy thing also, but we decided to go down on that Saturday.
How much is a bunch of money? I'm just curious.
She had a lot of crinkle $1 bills, but I'm sure more than 100 of them.
$80. $80. It's not a lot of money.
She's probably on there for like 5 minutes and made $80.
This was before you made $80 when you went down there with the girlfriend.
With my girlfriend, I told him about it, and he said, I want to do that. And we talked about it.
So you went down a week before with Chuck.
I said that I wasn't really comfortable with it.
But you went down a week before you made $80.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So she wanted me to go down with her.
I'm going to charge you for the water.
Can I get something better? So, I'm a little nervous. She wanted me to go with her, partly as protection. Melissa couldn't go, and also fantasy thing. But we didn't go down in the morning, and we did not go down to buy steroids. It's a lie. We didn't go down to buy steroids. We actually went down. It was dark out when we were driving.
Ask him to take his jacket off.
Yeah. We went. While we were there, we did go down, but it wasn't in the morning. It was dark out. It was probably like 7 or 8 o'clock when we started driving down. She drove her car, and we did stop at the border, and we parked in that parking lot and took the red bus. It's just this red bus you take in. It's like a mile. It costs $1. And I did buy some pharmaceuticals there. They were not steroids. I didn't go down to buy steroids. Then we started drinking, and actually went to a taco bar across the street from the strip bars, and we had some beers, and we went to, I think, 2 other bars and drank a lot of tequila. We did get pretty drunk. And she got her courage up, and she really wasn't sure if she was going to do this, and maybe I did, provoke her a little bit to do it. We went to the first bar, I think it was Bambi's. And arrangements were made for her to go on stage, and she went on the backstage.
Let me stop you. How were arrangements made? Look. How were arrangements made for her to go on the stage?
I was kind of like her agent.
Well, Mr. Gallagher, that's a conclusion, sir. Tell me exactly what you did to make these arrangements.
Grabbed one of the guys, like the Mexican guys that worked there that spoke English, and said she wants to dance. And then at first they look at her and like, yeah, but they try to play hardball. No, we can't have her up. And we negotiate back and forth.
What do you negotiate about?
Just to get her on,
What negotiating usually involves money.
Yeah, well, she's gonna make money.
So let me hear.
He wanted free drinks.
Oh, free beers for me.
Just a second. So you negotiated with one of the proprietors, or...
I drank free, she got to dance. That was the negotiation. Oh, she got to drink free too, that was a given. And so we negotiated she was going to go on the backstage. I think she wanted to get on the front stage where she would make more money and have more exposure. This little room in the back with a small backstage. She gets up there and takes her clothes off, and hell breaks loose. I mean, they can't believe what they're seeing. She's very beautiful. I mean, the whole bar moves to the back where it's getting crowded while she's dancing and going off. And I mean, bottles start flying, and people are like getting so close to each other. And I mean, it was like a madhouse. And she starts, you know, dancing. And I got, you know, kind of jealous of her, you know, to see her doing that.
So you got angry?
I got angry and I got jealous. It was painful. No,
Seriously?
no, I didn't get angry. I tried to keep in perspective. Tried to. And,
But you had a lot of booze.
We were getting drunk. We were drinking.
Well, she wasn't drinking when she was up there dancing, but you were continuing to drink when
She was drinking when she got down, though.
But you were drinking while she was dancing.
Yeah, but not as much as her.
She came down and you got angry. Tell me what happened.
No, I didn't get angry. When she came down, we decided to go to another bar where she could do the same thing because it was kind of wearing thin there and it got kind of violent. They were going crazy when they saw her. So we went to a bar next door.
Were you fond of this lady?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's not rigid. Maybe it's my puritanical upbringing. You know? That's not funny. That's not meant to be funny, sir. I just don't understand a man who would encourage. In fact, I think she's nuts for wanting to do it in the first place.
Well,
but a man who would encourage someone who he's fond of, negotiate, act as her agent.
Well, I'll make sure she's okay, you know, and nothing would take place. I wasn't going to let anyone hurt her.
That's not what I'm talking about, sir. Usually there's a certain proprietary interest that men
that's what she
have
does
in their
now.
women and women have in men that they like.
It was in
I
the
don't
secrecy.
quite understand you.
It was in the secrecy of Mexico where she would remain...
Order.
She would remain anonymous. No one would find out about this, and she could let her inhibitions go. And
His inhibition.
no,
All right. Yours,
she
too.
drugged me
Listen.
down there.
You went there before without him.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
That sounds pretty reasonable to me. Both acted like idiots.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. John Gallagher admits he became jealous when his girlfriend Julia danced in a strip club, but he says he didn't mean to cause the injury to her eardrum.
I want you to tell me she assaulted you because you called her a whore. Is that right?
In the second bar, I made the horrible mistake of calling her a whore. I did. It was
Okay.
horrible.
And tell me about the assault that took place on you.
Well, first, she lied because I didn't just hand the girl money. I was standing there, I felt guilty. I'm next to this girl dancing, and I took one of her dollar bills that she had just earned of hundreds, and I gave her one, and she got jealous and was pissed off.
Were you injured when she hit you?
The first 2 times she's hitting like a girl, it didn't hurt, and I did say, yeah, you hit like a girl, hit me again. She hit me again. Third time, she belted me so hard, my lip just exploded. Blood was coming out. And it almost knocked me down. Believe it or not, she can hit pretty good.
Okay, and what about hitting you with the clog in your head? Just
Well,
she hit you with the clog.
Federales are coming, and it's an urgency, so they stuff us in a cab, and we're driving, but we just keep arguing in the cab, arguing back and forth, and she hits me in the back of the head with a clog, and I barely remember that, except the next day I had a big bump on my head. We get through the United States, like she said, we go to the parking lot to use the bathroom before wherever we're going to go. We're going to drive. We're both drunk. And she gets passionate again. We start arguing. We had moments of calm and fury and calm and fury where we kind of calm down. And she's that way. She can fight good. So, you know, I'm going to tell you the truth. I was drunk at the time. I can't remember every detail that occurred. But I know that she was starting to get angry again. And I don't know if she was going to hit me or I thought she was going to hit me or she tried to. Can't remember. But I know that I grabbed her and I picked her up. And she was wrestling. And she went limp.
This was in the bathroom?
In the bathroom. And she was flailing, and I was drunk, and I didn't know that she hit her head. She just went limp in my hands. And she sunk down to the ground on her butt. And she sat there and looked up at me, and then she started to say she couldn't hear. And I really thought she was embellishing something. I didn't believe her at first. And she started to cry and scream and get more hysterical. And I didn't believe that she was hurt.
Ultimately, you took her to the hospital.
Now, ultimately, we ended up at the hospital. Her injuries are obviously real. The doctor found out that she had a bruise here in the back of her left ear, I think. Left ear. And she was, I don't know if she lost hearing or not.
What did you originally offer to pay her to
When the bills
help
came,
offset?
we split it.
You'd split it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds pretty reasonable
That's
to
why I
me.
asked
Both
him
acted like idiots. It sounds pretty reasonable to me that you should split it.
She, She probably did hit her head as a result of me lifting her up. I don't think on purpose. I know on purpose I didn't try to hurt her.
After you arrived back in the United States and after this whole incident, did you continue to see each other?
Yes.
Yeah. For how long?
About 4 more months until I kept catching him cheating on me. So I finally...
So you saw each other for 4 months after that? You had already gotten these bills?
Yes, I'd gotten it, and he's given me $25 on those
50.
bills.
I gave you 50.
25.
Did you ever take up this dancing as an occupation?
That's
Yes.
what I'm doing now.
Good, too.
Judge Judy is ready to rule. Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Julie Opp wants her former boyfriend, John Gallagher, to pay the medical bills for an injury he caused when he became jealous over her appearance in a Tijuana strip club.
I read medical bills at $1,800.
And then also, I was suing him for $300 because I had to get a restraining order against him.
That's your problem. Listen to me. Miss Opp, I think you made a big mistake. I think this whole escapade in Mexico was a big mistake, and I'm not being judgmental. I'm just saying to you that getting drunk, and engaging in bar dancing with your boyfriend is not something that's designed to solidify a relationship in normal terms. Maybe I'm missing something. My kids might say to me, you know, you're operating in the 40s and 50s and 60s, Mother, but I don't think so. I think still people who care for each other don't want to see other people slipping dollar bills in somebody's panties.
It wasn't that
Do you
bad.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and certainly not acting as their agent, which is, to me, almost like acting under these circumstances like a pimp.
It was pretty innocent.
It's pretty nasty. So you ought to pay for, I'm not going to have him pay for the whole thing. You contributed to this ridiculousness. And as it happens, I believe that you contributed to it even more than you initially told me you did, because you went down there before with a girlfriend, which is something that you didn't tell me right away. You said you had never done anything like this before. Right? Isn't that what you told me?
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
so your medical bills, you didn't have any medical bills from being clocked by her, did you?
No.
No. Your medical bills were $1,800, and you're going to pay for half. So the judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $900. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
And on the next...
Forward, please.
43-year-old Dorothy Walters says photographer Ron Rice ruined her 25th wedding anniversary because he was unprofessional, danced with the guests, and took bad pictures.
Order. All rise. Yeah, it's case number 355 on the calendar, in the matter of Walters versus Rice. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
You're the photographer.
Yes, I am, Your Honor.
Mrs. Walters, you hired the defendant because you and your husband were celebrating your 25th wedding anniversary.
Yes, that's right.
It's lovely.
Thank you.
What kind of party were you having?
We rented the Marina Hornblower yacht, and we were having a celebration cruise for our family and our friends.
How many people?
60.
How did you find him?
Through an ad in the newspaper in the Daily Breeze, right here, under wedding photography.
Okay, can I see it?
Run.
So you hired him? Tell me about the agreement that you made with him.
I searched for a photographer, and then I saw that ad, and I said, well, let me go check this guy's work out, because I wanted special double effects and photography. And when I went to his home to look at his work, it was exceptional. I mean, it was knocked down. It was just so great work. This work was really good. And so without a doubt, I wrote him a check, and I hired him.
Was it a deposit, or was it?
I gave him a $200 deposit, and 2 weeks later I paid him the rest in full in advance, before the wedding.
What was the whole price? For the
$752.33, my contract.
And that was to include what?
That was to include him to come to my home 2.5 hours, and that was to include a bridal album with 8 by. The pictures that he showed me of our 25th wedding anniversary were horrible. I cried. I was devastated. I mean, these pictures were horrible. The pictures that he showed me that of our 25th wedding anniversary were horrible. I cried. I was devastated. I mean, these pictures were horrible. My friends took pictures with their regular cameras. Look at my pictures that they took with their regular cameras compared to the professional pictures that he took. I mean, it was horrible.
I will look at both.
Yeah.
Why do you think that happened?
I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea.
Well, you indicate in your complaint that his behavior at this function was...
Sister all day.
I did.
and said all kinds of... I have it on video. I have the video right here. You can see it. I have him dancing, doing the Macarena, eating with my guests, not taking pictures. He poured a beer over the top of her head, made her dress see-through. I have it on video.
I would really like to see that.
I wish I was there too.
May I show you who he is on the video?
Yeah, just let...
I wear many hats, Your Honor. Photographer, comedian, dancer, pouring beer.
I hired you to be a photographer, not to be...
Listen to me. Don't answer him.
Here he is, Your
You're
Honor.
right, Your Honor.
Here he is, doing the Macarena, right there. And I have notes, there he is, doing the Macarena there in your courtroom.
Okay.
It moves me.
There he is.
Needs a little work. I want to see the beer.
Other than this Macarena, is there anything else on this tape?
It just shows Leona having the beer on her head. It didn't show him actually doing it, but you could hear him.
Well, let me see. How much into the tape is that?
It's a little bit farther.
Would you speed it up, please, Bird? Mr. Rice.
Yes, Your Honor.
Why did you pour a beer over this lady?
Well, I haven't seen that part yet, Your Honor. I don't believe I did.
Yes,
Matter
you
of fact,
did.
I'm
I mean, you're my
Miss Walters.
Sure.
Don't talk to him. I'm talking to him now.
Absolutely sure.
She's going to tell me, this lady, if I ask her to stand up, which I will.
Yeah.
Stand up now.
Stand up.
You're her sister?
Yes.
Did he pour a beer on you at this function?
Yes, he did.
What did he say?
I was dancing, and he says, "You need to be cooled off," and he threw the beer on top of my head. And I had a satin dress on, and it clinged to me, and it was see-through, and I was really, really embarrassed.
Okay, sit down. Mr. Rice.
It sounds like a fun thing to do under circumstances, but I was hired in a professional position and a capacity, and that's exactly what I did. I have on the...
Just a second.
Yes, ma'am.
I've made 4 or 5 weddings in my time. Hired a lot of photographers for other kinds of functions.
Mm-hmm.
I never had a photographer dancing with my guests. I never had a photographer coming and eating with my guests. I never had a photographer pouring anything over one of my guests. Otherwise, that photographer would have been brought out of the function in a box.
Yes, I agree.
Now, you did that. You were dancing with the guests, no jacket on, and, sir, I didn't see you with a camera slung around your shoulder.
This was after, this was
Yes.
after all the ceremonial events were done, because the wedding was during the day.
I heard you for the whole time.
Do I look like I need help?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
And so I was finished.
Just a second. What do you mean you were finished?
I was finished with all the ceremonial events. They were partying, and they were partiers.
How many rolls of film did you take, sir?
Approximately 250.
How many rolls?
No way.
Four, 220, medium format.
How many rolls of film?
2 rolls of 12 exposure, which was 24 prints, and then 4 at 24.
So altogether, you had how many pictures?
4 times 24 times 20. Me and my math. Probably 150, approximately.
96 and 24 is 120. Okay. So you had 120 pictures. Let me see them.
The irony of this thing.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
That's 99% of the profession, is being able to mesh and flow and get into the party mood.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Dorothy Walters is suing photographer Ron Rice for taking bad pictures and being unprofessional at her 25th wedding anniversary. He says the pictures are good and that he was just enjoying himself.
120 pictures. Let me
Right.
see them.
The irony of this thing is I saw her, she didn't want, I was supposed to give her the 5x5
Just
proofs.
a second.
She didn't even want them.
Listen to
I
me.
mean, hello?
Mr. Rice, to me. Miss Walters.
Okay, he wouldn't.
Miss Walters. Where are the 120
In
prints?
the trash.
Okay, who put them in the trash?
2 weeks ago, before she served me the notice, I said, look, here's Barbara's.
I'm Dorothy.
Dorothy.
Just a second.
Whomever. Dorothy, I'm sorry.
So the answer is you don't have them. You threw them away.
I have the negatives.
Just a second.
I was going to.
You have the negatives of 120 pictures?
All
Let me
right.
have them.
All right. All right, yes, sir. Shall I?
Oh, don't come too close to me, Mr. Rice.
And here's Your Honor, would you want to show
Just a
me?
minute. What's the difference between these and these, sir?
Print quality and definition. One's 2 1/4 format. Those are 35 millimeter format. The other one is 6 by 6 millimeter. Those are table shots. See, when I do a wedding, all the ceremonial events, all the romantics, anything that has to do with, the principles of the wedding party are shot with the 2 1/4, the format.
And this is 2 1/4?
No, that's 35 millimeter. That's where table shots, guest shots.
There are no table shots here, sir.
Maybe, can I see them?
No.
Okay.
And all these negatives are the negatives, right?
Those are the negatives of, yes.
Bird, would you count up these?
Sure.
These negatives?
No problem.
Thank you. I just want to know how many there are, because she says that
Look, make sure there are
limited
ours,
number
too.
of rolls. Now let me take a look at the pictures.
Okay, Bert. These are the ones he took. Here's the identical pictures that the guests took.
With the polarizer.
No, this is with
who's the professional here?
Hey,
yeah, who's the professional? Look at those pictures.
One, two, three, and then you're both out of here. Do you understand? And if you're out of here, you lose. Do you understand? Now, these are the ones your guests took.
Yes.
And these are the ones that you're complaining about that he took.
Yes.
Are these the only pictures that you were given by him?
No, I was given another book.
Where is it? Where are the...
You have it. You wouldn't give it to me.
Where are the 30...
What words didn't you both understand? Don't talk to each other. I don't like to have to raise my voice. I want to see the photographs that he took at your house. Do you have those?
No.
You didn't bring...
Don't speak.
Your Honor, he took them. He would not give them back to me because I said these are unacceptable. And he took them. He wouldn't give them back to me.
Just a second. So are you telling me that these are
That's
the only
pictures I have.
Can I finish my question?
I'm sorry.
Are these the only pictures that you have of your wedding anniversary
That he
party
took. Yes.
that he took?
Yes, they are.
She just perjured herself.
You just threw
Shut
the
up!
book away. He threw the book away. That's what he told you. Okay, I'm sorry.
Show me, sir, what you say she has in addition to these.
She has 34 8x10s that she ordered from the prints.
Show me the order with her signature on it.
Right here?
Good. Can I see it, please?
She got her plan. I mean, it's a very flexible plan. She got plan 3.
Sir.
Oh, yes, Your Honor.
Stop talking. This is the contract. This is not her order.
Absolutely right.
Show.
I'm sorry.
Don't say you're sorry. Just be quiet. This is not an order. This is the contract.
Is it like a price list or anything in there like that other than just the negatives?
How many were there, Bert?
70, Judge.
Okay. Now listen to me, sir.
Yes, Your Honor.
Listen carefully. There are 70 negatives here. 70. Right. You wouldn't dispute that with Bird, would you?
Oh,
No.
Bert.
Now,
Not Bert.
this is...
It's probably a 36 roll, Your Honor. But,
So altogether, you took 106 pictures, not 150.
Well, actually, with the 70 pictures, it was more than enough because what she had ordered was just those elect, professionally looking, beautiful few, if I may add.
Mr. Rice, I asked you a question, and you will not deflect me with your palaver. Where is her order for these 8x10s that you just told me about?
What, I mean, they're right there. They're right on those MAC cards.
Well, show me her signature on those things,
No, there's
sir.
no signature. The
Show
contract.
Officer Bird. Give him the whole envelope, Bird, please.
Help. Okay. There was no album. She ordered $252 worth, taxed away. I mean, she ordered, where are the 10x10s
You have them.
Where are they? I mean, you have them.
All
Where
right,
are
now,
they?
let me tell you what happens
like,
when
where
you
are
don't listen 4 times. 4 times you don't listen.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
It's wearing hats, not just being a professional, being stuffy.
Oh my God.
You have to have personality. You have to go on with a smile.
And later today,
If I give you $200, you have to give me the camcorder back. No, I don't have to. It's mine. It's mine. It belongs to me. You're full of it.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Dorothy Walters wants the money back she paid photographer Ron Rice because she says the pictures were unprofessional.
Mr. Rice?
Yes, ma'am.
I find that based upon what I've seen in the photographs, what I've heard today, that your conduct on the day of this anniversary party was less than professional and certainly less than what Miss Walters bargained for when she retained you. So, you're going to refund to her $752.33 because of you, she doesn't have what she bargained for, which was a professional photographer who behaved in a professional manner, who furnished her professional pictures. And in addition, since you told me that the proofs that you gave her, you took and threw in the garbage, which means that you certainly didn't want them, Miss Walters, I'm giving you all the negatives.
All right.
Thank you.
Oh,
That's
thank
all.
you.
They're no good anyway.
They're no good. You said they were professional photographers.
Bodies are excused. You may step out.
You said they were good.
Bodies are excused. You may
Here, I'll
step
throw them in the
They're
trash.
no good.
Step
Yeah,
out the
they're
back
no
door to your
good.
right, please.
It's wearing hats, not just being a professional, being stuffy.
Oh my God.
99% of the profession is being able to mesh and flow and get into the party mood. Give me a kiss. Give me a hug. Come on.
He's nuts.
I'll give him a
He's
hug.
nuts.
Whoa.
He's nuts.
Well, I mean, it's like I was
Thank you,
born that
Judge.
way. What's your excuse?
And now the next case.
Bodies on Hill versus Mathis. Step forward, please.
32-year-old Robin Hill is suing her former sister-in-law, Teresa Mathis, age 36, because she won't return her video camera.
Do I understand this correctly, that you two ladies are sister-in-laws or in some way related? Still sister-in-laws?
I'm unsure of it. They got divorced. I don't know.
Okay. You divorced?
Right.
From her brother?
Yes.
So you're former sister-in-laws?
Correct.
And let me understand this. You needed $200 for some sort of move a couple of years ago.
Right.
You asked your sister-in-law, who I assume was then still married to your brother,
Correct.
for the $200. According to you, she lent you the $200, and you gave her your camcorder.
Correct.
As sort of insurance for the repayment of this loan.
Right.
Now you're suing her because you say you went back and retrieved the camcorder and it's broken.
Right.
And the camcorder, you paid how much for?
It was on sale. We paid roughly $900.
So you're suing her for $500.
Which would be about replacement cost of it.
And you say, nothing could be farther from the truth, that you bought the camcorder.
I purchased the camera because she was going to Oklahoma for $200, and I told her that if she got the money back, as soon as she got it, that I would sell it back to her if she wanted. And
For the
that's
$200?
it. Right, right.
Okay. Yeah. How did you get the camcorder back?
She asked me to house sit for her while they were in Oklahoma with bicycle races for their son. And a friend of mine had asked me to film some stuff.
How long ago was this?
This was November of last year.
So November of last year, when you were house sitting, you got your camcorder back.
Well, I went to borrow it to use it to film some stuff, and it didn't work. So I went to put it in a shop. They had a fit and told me, though, they wanted to get it fixed. I said, fine. So I gave it back to them to get it fixed. And And I was more than willing to give them their money back, and if it was my fault that it was broke, then I would have paid for it. But it was working when they got it, and I don't think I should have to pay for it to be fixed.
Did you give her back the $200?
I've offered it to her.
Just a second. No. Did you give her back the $200?
No. She refused it.
No, that's not true.
That is true.
It's not true.
That is true.
When I asked for the money, she didn't have it. She never had the money. The only reason she came to my house and took the camera while we were gone out of my closet was because she needed money and she wanted to sell it, and then had planned to pay me after she sold the camera. When I purchased the camera, it was working, just not properly. You can see by the film that I brought that it has lines in it, and that was in April of '95 at a national that we went to, my son's bike races.
Whatever, so you went and you had it fixed?
When I got the money, because I was single, my ex-husband and I were divorced, I have 3 children and a large house payment, so when I did get the money, which was in March, I said, this is terrible, you know, I have this camera, I can't even use it, it doesn't work right, so I took it down. Her aunt was with me also at the races when I purchased the camera, and it kept shutting off. She was standing beside me, and we were taping our children.
All right, if you don't have to go into a whole long thing, it's not a very difficult case.
Okay.
Judge Judy is ready to rule.
Ms. Hill.
Yes.
If I believe your story, she lent you $200, you gave her the camera until you paid her back the $200.
Correct.
You never paid her back the $200. Where's the camera now?
She still has the camera.
I've never lost the camera.
Perfect.
I still have it.
Camera's yours.
Right.
When she gives you back the $200, you just listen to me.
Okay,
when she gives you back the $200, you'll give her back the camera. Right now, you didn't give her back the $200, so the camera's hers. That's very simple.
I understand that, Your Honor.
Good. That's all. Case is dismissed.
All right, sir, excuse you may step out.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
I've got notarized statement saying it was working.
It worked, but it didn't work right.
That's not my fault.
Well, it's not my fault. You hauled it in your car all the way to Oklahoma since 1991, all over the place. That's what happened.
Well, that's not my fault. If I give you $200, you have to give me the camcorder back.
No, I don't have to. It's mine. It's mine. It belongs to me.
You're full of it.
Continue in a moment. And on the next.
Mark's on Hayes versus Hayes. Step forward, please.
59-year-old Charlie Hayes is suing his daughter, 37-year-old Carolanda Hayes, for money she took from a bank account set up by her grandmother.
Order, all rise. Judges, number 275 on the calendar in the matter of Hayes versus Hayes. Parties have been sworn in, Your Honor. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat.
I must tell you both that there is nothing sadder for a judge than seeing a family torn apart by money.
I totally agree.
Mr. Hayes, this is your daughter.
That's correct.
And as I understand this complaint, your mother, who is still alive, is that correct?
That's correct.
How old is she?
94.
Where does she live?
She lives with me.
How long has she lived with you?
She's been living with me almost 6 months now.
Where did she live before that?
She lived in 137 Baker Apartment 1.
And she moved in with you, why, sir?
Because she's been diagnosed with Alzheimer's.
Okay. Now, you have power of attorney over all your mother's property recently acquired, is that right?
That's correct.
According to your complaint, your mother, during her lifetime, set up different CDs and bank accounts for her children and her grandchildren. You're one of the grandchildren.
Yes.
And according to your complaint, your daughter went to the bank and took out a loan against the CD that was in your mother's name and trust for her.
That's correct.
Is that right?
Correct.
And she did so without your knowledge as the person with power of attorney over your mother's affairs. Why did you do that?
I went to the bank under my grandmother's consent. She told me to go get the interest that was on the CD.
When did your grandmother tell you that?
She told me, she's always telling me that, Carlanda, to help you and the kids, go get the interest on your CD, go get the interest on your CD. And I was like, no, because the interest was only $500. I was like, the $500 is not going to help me, Nana. She said, go to the bank and get your interest off your CD.
Okay.
So when I went to the bank,
When? Let her finish, sir.
When I went to the bank, the Great Western representative told me that you could take out a loan against your CD. You don't have to take out the interest. You can just go ahead and take out a loan for 90%.
90% of what was in the account?
Exactly.
And how much was in the account altogether?
Well, the original CD was for $10,000.
Okay. When you say the original CD, had it grown?
There was interest on it from Bayview Federal, where it was. It grown to, my grandmother had left the interest in there, I guess, a couple of times, and it was $10,900.
It was $10,900 when you took out this loan against it?
No, ma'am. It was only $8,000 by the time I got there to the bank.
It was $8,000. Now, how did the account read? What's your grandmother's name?
Nancy.
Nancy
Buckner.
Nancy Buckner in trust for?
No, it read Nancy Buckner, Carolina Hayes, power of attorney Charles Hayes. Because by
Can I see the way the account is written, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. So you were told that you could take out a loan.
Right, for 90% of the CD.
Okay. And you did?
I didn't take out 90. I only took out 50.
So you took out $4,000?
Yes.
And you had to pay back the interest?
Exactly.
Did you do that?
No, because they told me that no payment was needed to be made until June, a year later. I didn't have to do anything. I didn't have to make any payment throughout the year. I could pay $20, $10, or zero until the next year.
Well, Mr. Hayes, this says that this account is in your name, Nancy Edwards, and Carolandra Hayes. That's her.
That's correct.
This isn't an in trust for account.
No, ma'am.
It was in trust until I moved it. It wasn't in Great Western.
I don't care where it was. Listen to me. This has 3 names on this account.
I realize that. Yeah.
That means anybody can do whatever they want with this bit of money. You understand that?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So you're suing her, your daughter.
That's correct.
I'm going to find out why in a second, Mr. Hayes.
Because he's greedy.
For $4,497, which is, I assume, $4,000 that she took out, and the other $400 for some sort of interest. Is that right?
No.
What?
It's for a credit card that she took out in my mother's name in Nordstrom's that she didn't pay.
I don't have that in the...
I have it here, Your Honor.
I don't care what you have there. I don't have it in your complaint, sir.
And I didn't know about this credit card because
you don't have to address the credit card. It's not in his complaint.
Okay.
It's not in his complaint. It's not here, period.
Okay.
Okay. So, Mr. Hayes.
Yes.
She took out $4,000, therefore you're suing her for $4,000. She can take out that money if she wants to.
Yeah, I understand that.
So why are you suing her?
I'm suing her because she didn't pay for it. She made no efforts to pay for it. Can I explain to you how this led up to this?
Sure.
She started off from the day that she graduated. My mother bought her a new car to graduate. From there, she went on to college. A couple of years later, she wanted to get married. She came home. My mother and I paid for her wedding. Came a little over $12,000. After her wedding, she moved on. After she moved on, a couple of years later, she wanted a divorce. She got a divorce. She moved on to Atlanta. In Atlanta, she got in a little trouble. She wanted to come home. She borrowed $3,200 to come home. She said she would pay for that.
Borrowed from whom?
From my mother. Then once she got here, she didn't have any money, so she needed a place to stay. So she borrowed another $1,600.
From whom?
From my mother.
When you say she... Mr. Hayes.
Yes.
When you say she borrowed the money, were you there when she spoke to her grandmother?
No.
No, I wasn't there, but by me being power of attorney, my mother explained this to me.
Just a second. When did your daughter take this money from your mother? How long ago?
That's been about 5 years ago.
And when were you appointed power of attorney?
1993.
So this all happened before you were appointed as power of attorney. So let me explain something to you, sir. I assume that you were given power of attorney over your mother's money because you say that she suffers from Alzheimer's. She can't take care of her affairs. Is that right?
Not only that, as that I'm the eldest. And
doesn't make any difference. Eldest. So she gave with no notes, I assume.
No notes. This was
Her
just
granddaughter, money.
Correct. That's correct.
Good. That's what grandmothers do with their grandchildren.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
He wants all the money. He wants to take everyone's money, and he doesn't want to see us with anything. He wants to remodel his home, buy his Harley Davidson, his boat, and everything else.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Charlie Hayes is suing his daughter, Carolanda, because she took money from a bank account set up by her grandmother. Carolanda says the account was opened for her benefit and the money was rightfully hers.
Go ahead. So tell me some more. So she got into trouble. She came back. It's another $1,600. Go ahead.
Would you tell her quit saying words to me?
I don't want you to speak to him.
Yes, ma'am.
If you're speaking to him, I don't want you to speak to him.
I'm not speaking to him.
Good. Go.
Okay, now my mother calls me. She says, I want you to go and give Carolanda the interest off her CD. So instead of making it, just getting the interest off of it, I went and put it into Great Western. It was in Bayview Federal. I put it into Great Western. So then I called her and told her to go down, put your Social Security number on it so that you can get the interest from now on. Therefore, I will put your name on the CD. Her name wasn't on the CD.
That's a lie.
Shh.
Hey.
He's not telling the truth.
Well, show me. Show me. Show me that your name was on the CD.
Oh, it was on the CD.
Show me. That's what I want to see. Show me.
I'm saying he's lying about the reason why he put my name in the CD.
Show me. Before I went to Great Western, what bank was it in?
Bayview Federal.
Show me Bayview Federal. This doesn't show me anything.
Okay.
Would you tell her also, Your Honor, do not call me a liar?
Shh. Listen, I didn't hear that she called you a liar. If she called you anything, she's not supposed to speak out in court unless I speak to her.
Thank you.
Right now, I'm not speaking to her. I'm not looking at her.
Thank you. So anyway, I went in to take care of some banking business at Great Western, and the bank agents told me that there's no payments been made on this loan, and there's no interest been paid on it, and within the next 6 months, we're phasing out this type of loan because the bank isn't making any money on it. So I said, okay, I'll get in touch with my daughter. I called my daughter, and I asked her, I said, what are you going to do about this? She says, I don't have any money. I'm not going to pay it. Sue me. That's where we are today.
Okay. And your defense is that you didn't have to pay this money back according to the loan agreement by the bank for another few months, and therefore you were not in default.
Right.
There were a couple. Go ahead.
But he's lying. He did not call me and say that the CD was about to expire and that I better pay the interest on it or whatever. And I don't know what he did, but he closed everyone's CD. No one, all the grandchildren's, my aunts, everyone, every
How much
CD
money
is
does your
gone.
mother have in her estate, Mr. Hayes?
At the time that when she's speaking,
Now, how much money does your mother have in her estate?
she has $40,000.
And this time last year, how much money did your mother have?
Close to $80,000.
And the $40,000 was spent how, sir?
It was, she's speaking of the other loan, is because her brother took a loan out at the same time, this type of loan.
Against?
And then I had to close both of them because the bank was closing out that type of loan.
Does your mother get Social Security, sir?
Yes, she does.
And she gets Medicaid that takes care of her medical expenses?
That's correct.
And she owns an apartment building with 12 units, and each apartment building roughly about $500 on each building.
How many brothers and sisters do you have, sir?
I have one sister.
Okay. So I would assume that with the exception of these CDs that she had for grandchildren, how many grandchildren are there?
There was 5 of us.
That most of your mother's assets, when she passes, are going to go to you and your sister. Is that right?
No.
Yes, that's correct. Sorry.
Talking to him?
No, it goes to me. I am the trustee of the account. All of her assets goes to me.
What about your sister?
My sister gets 25% of the net gross of the building of the money after all bills are paid.
When did your mother make a will?
My mother made a will in 1993, and then she revised it in 1995.
Okay. All right. Now, let me deal with your countersuit, Ms. Hayes.
Yes, ma'am.
You are countersuing your father because you say that he has misappropriated your grandmother's money.
That's correct.
Okay. Nobody made you the monitor of your grandmother's money.
No, ma'am.
Okay. So I'm dismissing your counterclaim. Whether someone is violating their fiduciary relationship and your father has what we call in the trade, a fiduciary relationship with his mother, is something that is going to be dealt with at some point in surrogates court or a court where they handle estates. A judge in the surrogates court will also determine whether his mother, who he has acknowledged suffers from Alzheimer's, was able to revise a will in 1995, had the mental capacity to revise a will, and I would assume that your aunt, who is his sister, as well as whatever grandchildren there are who might have been mentioned in a prior will contest that will once it's filed and make a determination as to whether or not there has been another breach of fiduciary.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You just told me that your mother is 94, moved in with you because she can't take care of herself because she suffers from Alzheimer's. So stop giving me a lot of baloney.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Charlie Hayes and his daughter Carolanda are in court fighting over money left in a bank account by Carolanda's grandmother. Charlie claims his daughter had no right to withdraw the money.
Let me turn now to this issue before me. What is that, Mr. Hayes?
This is the contract that she stated she signed with the bank.
That's right here.
That she would return the money?
Yes.
Yeah, fine. Okay. Now, if she did not return this money, all that they were going to do is withdraw it.
That's correct.
From the CD.
That's correct.
Now, according to your papers, sir, this CD was originally in your mother's name and trust for her.
That's correct.
Your name was not on it at all, as your mother had CDs for all the grandchildren.
She tried.
What you did, sir, was add your name, according to this, to each one of the CDs.
Only that one, Your Honor.
Why only this one?
Because I wanted to make sure that she paid it back, and if she went to the bank to get any money, I wanted them to notify me.
Well, but you know, what you've done here, sir, is you have added your name as a partner in this CD. Your mother really had no intention of making you a partner in this CD.
She knew about that.
Don't tell me what she knows. She knows nothing now. She's lucky
That's
for her
now.
that she knows. She knew nothing about what you did here, sir, because she had no intention of making you a third partner in this CD.
I took it to her and told her about this, Your Honor.
You just told me that your mother is 94, moved in with you because she can't take care of herself because she suffers from Alzheimer's, sir. Stop giving me a lot of baloney.
No, I'm not.
One of the things that I'm saying to you is I'm distressed. I'm distressed because I don't understand why you as a parent, and your daughter has probably cost you a lot of money over the years.
Of
or
course.
it cost your mother a lot of money. She's probably made some mistakes, and she has been indulged by an indulgent grandmother when she's run into financial difficulty. But what we're talking about is a father suing his daughter for money that really isn't even yours.
I don't want the money.
Well, what I'm asking you, Mr. Hayes, is why bring your daughter to court over this money, which is not... The truth of the matter is she could have taken out more. It wouldn't have been the right thing. But she could have taken out more than 50% of the money. She didn't. And I assume you have a couple of children?
Yes, ma'am.
You have a husband?
No, ma'am.
You work?
Yes.
What do you do?
Import and export.
How much do you earn?
$40,000 a year.
So you earn a reasonable living?
Yes, I do. And rent is outrageous. And 2 kids and child care. And I'm barely
Where are the father of these 2 children? Well, that's a smile. A smile isn't an answer.
One's in Louisiana, the other one, they take care of their children, but I'm just saying that it's difficult to raise 2 kids by yourself.
Okay. Listen, there comes a point when your family's going to stop bailing you out.
I have...
You understand? Your grandmother bailed you out. She gave you money before?
Yes.
She gave you money for $3,000, $1,600 or whatever.
But 2 of them were gifts. I graduated with honors from school.
I'm not suggesting that the $3,000 and the $1,600 weren't gifts by a grandmother. Say, yeah, take the money. If you can pay back, fine. If you can't, fine. Sir, it was your mother's intention that this young lady have this money.
Up on her death.
That's her intention.
That's correct.
That's her intention.
That's correct. I would like for her to have it up on her death. I love
Who are
my
you?
daughter. I don't want to.
Who are you?
Your Honor, I'm her mother.
What do you have to add to this?
I have to add that I've also helped her and my son.
I don't need that information. It's irrelevant whether you help them. Listen to me.
Yes, sir.
It's irrelevant that you help them. You're supposed to help them. You're her mother.
Oh, yes, and I will. Until
Good.
the day I
Nice.
die.
Sit down.
But that's not just it. I mean, she can contest that my father, he just abuses funds. He just goes
I'm not
through them.
interested in that. Nobody made you your grandmother's money monitor. If you believe that your father is abusing his fiduciary relationship to his mother, go to court and seek to be appointed her guardian because he's abusing it, and then a judge will hear you and we will move on. But you cannot, madam, countersuit for that.
I wouldn't bring my father to court.
So, well, you countersuit, and I dismiss the countersuit because you have no basis for a countersuit unless you are the guardian of your grandmother.
What he's doing is just totally wrong.
Judge Judy is ready to rule.
Mr. Hayes, under the law,
Yes,
your daughter did exactly what she had a right to do by taking out this loan.
What about
Under the law, she doesn't even have to pay it back because the account is in her name. And if she chooses to, she can let the loan default and she can let the CD be reduced by the amount of the loan. That is her right because her name is on this account. Do you understand, sir?
That's my fault.
Case dismissed.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment. And on the next, 5-year-old Neilani Flores says her late mother's hairdresser, Donald Smith, swindled her out of money before she died. Donald claims he and Neilani's mother were friends, and the money was a gift.
Order. All rise. Quiet in the courtroom, please. All rise. Judge, this is case number 316 on the calendar in the matter of Flores versus Smith. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Have a seat, please.
Miss Flores, your mother died suddenly. How old was she when she died?
73.
And you claim at the time of her death, the defendant owed her money. And why she gave him money.
Okay. At the time of her death, we went through her financial matters, and with her checkbook and her bank statements was her ledger. My mom was a bookkeeper for 45 years. My mom would not just knowingly give him a gift and write it down. I mean, if she gave a gift, she would not write it down. So
you can't go in somebody else's head.
That's correct.
Even if they're no longer here.
Right.
So you found her ledger.
Yes, I did. And with this ledger, I found his name, Donald Smith, of which I didn't know. I knew of him, but I've never met him before.
How did you know of him?
By my daughter, Tammy. Tammy had gone to dinner with them one evening. And my mom paid for dinner, which Tammy thought was kind of strange. Anyway, from there, from
Not
dinner,
in the 90s.
okay, giving him money to gamble. And Tammy goes, well, that's kind of strange. When she came back home, she said, something strange is going on here. I said, what do you mean? She said, well, he's taking money from her. Well, I mean, I didn't think anything about that till I found the ledger saying that there were bills incurred for Don. Doctor bills, loans to Don, more doctor bills, Mervin's charge cards. Also, she had just recently purchased you furniture, of which my mother also kept a daily log of telephone calls that were made to him, saying whether he called, whether he didn't call. It seemed like when he had his appointments, he would call her. She would also take him to work on a daily basis, which was like across town. They live in Las Vegas. She lives on the east side of town. He lives in North Las Vegas. So it was quite a commute for her.
So what?
And
I mean, what does that mean to you, Miss Flores?
I mean that he was constantly calling and asking her to do things for him.
So what? Is there anything wrong with your mother's mind?
There wasn't at the time of her death, not that I know of.
And she was 73 years old, which today is not an old person.
Right. She was killed in a car accident. She hit a tree.
So let's just talk about the money that she gave him to go gambling, when they were out to pay for That's really none of your business.
That is correct.
So, and I assume that you don't suggest that you're looking to recoup that money from him.
Absolutely not. Only what was borrowed.
Well, so that what I'd like you to do is to show me, because that's primarily what I'm going to look at.
Right, it's right here. Also, here are credit card bills, of which it says Dawn owes for these, that were in her ledger. And here also is the furniture that she had purchased a month before she died.
Well, who wrote Dawn owes for that?
My mother.
Let me see.
Okay. Any and all transactions. Okay.
Okay. What was your mother's name?
Helen Roy.
She was a client, a steady client, and I did her hair. And struck up a friendship. And after I graduated, she just followed me. I still did her hair in the salons I was at. And the friendship still developed from there. She didn't talk to her kids a lot. And I didn't have any family.
That is not true. I'm telling you, that's not true. My phone bills.
Listen to me.
Okay.
He was quiet. Now you have to be quiet.
All right.
From what she told me, she didn't have the best relationship with him because they had owed her money. She had loaned them $10,000 to get their house years ago and had never even attempted to pay her back. And they did have a contract with her. So that made a gap between them. She did take me to work if I needed. She made sure.
I'm not concerned about her taking you to work, sir. I'm not concerned about her taking you to dinner. This is a lady who, I assume, was a little lonely, and she found your company appealing, and she wanted to spend her money on you. That's her business.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
I didn't have any family growing up. She showed me what a nice grandmother and a mother was.
Aww.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Neilani Flores is suing her late mother's hairdresser, Donald Smith, for loans he never repaid.
Miss Flores, I'm looking at this one page that you're talking about.
The 2 pages,
well,
yes.
These 2 pages.
Yes.
And the others clearly indicate bills incurred for Dawn.
Correct.
That doesn't necessarily, madam, convince me that those were loans. You know, when you give money to somebody, especially, I can imagine a situation where you are mentality, you want to keep track of how much money you gave to somebody just for your own head. I mean, how many times do I wake up in the morning and I want to know how much money I have in my savings account, and my checking account, and how much money I gave to this church? That particular person has cost me that year. Do you understand? It could just as easily have been that. That's
correct.
$450 according to your mother. He still owes her $400 from this. Now, this piece of paper that it looks as if it's written in the same hand.
That is her writing, yes.
Right. Mm-hmm. But there is also no indication that this was a loan.
Right? That's correct. But if the money wasn't owed, she wouldn't have written it down.
I don't know that. I think that you have a difficult time. 6.
Of which we're still paying the bills for her, yes.
Okay.
His clothing receipts. There were many more receipts that weren't included.
Just a second. Just a second. I'm looking for her handwriting on here, because I do see one, and it seems to match the handwriting in her book, in her ledger, on this credit card.
There's several Mervyn's receipts for men's clothing, of which are for him.
Well, just a second. You have to understand something, madam. What I just said to you was, there are certain things that clearly your mother had denoted as loans, owes, loans.
And all of this.
And certain things on which there are no notes.
They were all included in that book, though, Your Honor. You know, pinned inside together.
I only see one note of hers.
Right, they were all pinned inside.
Paperclip.
Paper clipped inside.
What?
There were also.
What I think she's trying to say is that my mother-in-law was keeping track of the bills and anything she had spent on them, and that what she's trying to say is that those look like they were all incurred as a loan to him.
Looks like is not a loan.
Okay.
Sir. Looks like is not a loan.
Okay.
Telling me?
Yes.
They weren't gifts, Donald.
Miss Flores, don't talk. Miss Flores. Don't
That's
talk
what's
to him.
wrong with the elderly,
Don't-
though. That's how they're getting ripped off.
Miss Flores, sometimes you're absolutely right. And sometimes a lady who is 73 years old, living far away from her family, a couple of times a week. Is that a fair statement?
Correct.
If she has to pay for some companionship by buying a present or by giving a shirt or by buying furniture, unfortunately, that happens. And then when there is a tragedy like this, the family feels as if, guarantee you, she didn't feel as if she was being taken advantage of. She was having a good time. Did your step up here. You went out to dinner and you went gambling with your grandmother and the defendant?
Yes, I did.
Did your grandmother look like she was having a good time?
Sure.
Right. How many times did you go gambling with your grandmother?
Every time I went up there.
Well, how often was that?
Once every couple months. Whenever I made it up to Vegas, I'd go.
So once every couple of months, you took Grandma out for a spin.
Yes,
How many
I
times
did.
did you go gambling with Grandma?
Usually once a week.
I took Grandma. Grandma didn't take me.
Just a thing. It's her money.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
As you can see, she started out with $35,000 in the bank. 2 years later, she depleted her savings. You make me nauseous. If this camera went on, I swear to God, my dad would knock me out. I swear to God.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Neilani Flores is suing her late mother's hairdresser, Donald Smith, claiming he swindled her out of thousands of dollars before she died.
You're not responsible for your mother's debts. You know darn well that you're not under the law. So if you have to pay out any money for her, it's being paid out of her money.
What money? There's no money left.
Then if there's no money left, madam, then you don't have to pay anymore because children and grandchildren are not liable for the debts of their parents. I'm certain that your lawyer told you that. This is her money. If she wants to go gambling with him and give him money 5 nights a week because that makes her happy, it may not be smart, it may not be preserving her estate, but she's lonely and she's not going to live for every 2 months while when her granddaughter decides to come up and pay her a visit and take her out to dinner and gambling. That doesn't mean he's necessarily a nice person. I'm not even suggesting that to you. And I'm not suggesting that he didn't take advantage of her. He probably did.
I think so, too.
Absolutely.
I know. Why not?
A lot of people take advantage of the elderly.
That's sad.
Well, it is sad. However, it made her happy.
Why was she paying his
However,
a job?
It made your grandmother happy. If she didn't want to do it, she wouldn't have done it. She was of sound mind, and if she had to pay for an occasional escort, which is what he was, and he said that they were really good friends. Bull. However, if she had to pay for it so that she had company a couple of times a week, that made her happy. Why are you complaining now?
Because we're paying for his bills.
No, you're not. What do you mean you're paying?
Because in the will it stated my mom is the executor of the will. So any monies be paid out for any of her expenses be paid out of that. So we did
What's your first name?
Tammy.
Are you dumb?
No, I'm not.
Well, then let me tell you something. What you're saying to me is I tried to explain it to you. Because your mother is the executrix of your grandmother's will, she does not have to go to her bank account, her personal bank account, and pay 1 sou for your grandmother's debts. The only money that can be used to pay for your grandmother's debts is your grandmother's money, which is not your money, no matter what you think. It is not your money. There may not be anything left for you after you pay the debts, but you 3 people do not have to dig into your own. It was your grandmother's money, and she could do whatever she diddly pleases with it, and it pleased her. It gave her a certain amount of pleasure to sport him around. I don't know why, but it did. Now that I've taken care of that area, now I talk to you. So there were certain things clearly here that she indicated you owed her.
Nothing that she gave, it was all gifts.
That's not true. That's clearly not true.
If it was as a loan, there would have been a contract made that I would have signed.
Are you kidding me?
Are
you kidding me?
No, I'm not. The 450 was I was in between jobs and she helped me out with the rent. I paid back the first payment of 40, and when I gave her that 40, she looked at me and says, "That's all I wanted to know was that you made the effort." She goes, "Forget about the rest."
Well, but that's not what it says here. That was a loan. Because that's what she is about this furniture. How'd you get the furniture?
That was delivered to me, my understanding, as a housewarming and a birthday present. I moved into a house I'm renting with my companion. It was a month of my birthday also. She wanted to go to a furniture store. She was asking me what I liked.
I can understand buying you...
After I'd moved in, what I had picked...
some clothes. I can understand taking you out to dinner. I can understand even giving you some gambling money when you go out. I don't have a problem with that. They may have a problem with $1,379 for furniture for you and your companion.
That was her choice. It was not asked of her. That's what she wanted to do.
No, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. That doesn't sit right with me. You have two men who live together, both employed, and there comes a point where certain things she wants to buy you, some clothes, she wants to take you out for dinner, she wants to make sure she has some company. But then there comes a point when it's sort of sickening. This is sort of sickening.
Why?
Why?
That was her choice. We didn't ask. I didn't ask.
I don't believe you. Did you just happen to be home when the furniture was delivered?
No.
I wear the smile like borrowed clothes, hanging off my shaking bones. You say you're good, I say I'm fine. Practice the line 100 times. Bathroom mirror, I avoid my eyes. Turn the faucet up to drown my mind. If you listen past my practice lies, you'd hear the crash behind. Through faces I don't know, chasing comfort in a glow. Tell my friends I need some air, ghost their calls, pretend I don't care. Bedroom ceiling counting every mark, like constellations for a restless heart. If you touch the silence in my room, you'd feel it pulling. Broken. broken. You're safe.